Guys, beer, sports. Join Sean and Brad as they talk about sports and share a beer. From the east coast of Canada to the west coast of the United States.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Sean and Brad, guys,
Over
here
to you,
at Sports
boys.
Back again. Episode 26, I think. And we have our friend
Vincent.
27?
Vincent, oui.
I don't even know what that means. 27, I think. You know, Sean's over here with the French that I don't speak. I speak French fries and crepes. That's it.
Are you guys calling them French fries again, or are the freedom fries still there in the U.S.?
They've never been freedom fries in America.
Okay, all right.
That's something we don't want to talk about. Episode 27, we have our friend Reed with us in the house, so we're going to talk to him about a lot of things that are going on. First, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Flyers Brewery. Hey, I know you, Sean, you haven't seen this yet, but I picked this up from our buddy Tony here. 32-ounce can. So if you're a can guy like me, this is the move. To put whatever you want in it while you wait. So there's some pacemaker for me. Got my growler. It's a beautiful choice. Instead of going growlers, you just go straight for the can. So
that is awesome, man. That is awesome.
For context, I'm 6'4", 230. This is how big this can is.
It looks gigantic. That's basically a keg, everybody.
That's it. Look at that thing, man.
Not a little man, not a little can. So anyway, shout out to Tony and the boys at Flyers. We appreciate your support. Everyone, if you're in the area, go by and see them. Corner of Woodby and 20.
I love it. Always with the porter, eh? You love that porter pacemaker.
Yeah, they just do such a great job with it. I can't get away from it.
I got so I stopped in because I've been going off to Old Biddies, going off here, going off there. So I decided to give these guys here in Dartmouth over here. That's right, to call Spindrift. They're over at Dartmouth here in Nova Scotia. We're talking about Spindrift. I don't know if you can see that can. Can you see that can, boys?
Oh, you can see the top of it.
There we go. It's kind of hard to see it here. Spindrift.
Yeah. You have a beauty light? Is that what that is?
I do.
Such a glare?
I do. It's such a glare because I have a vanity light. You're absolutely correct. It's called Killick Session. All right. Do you guys know what a Killick is?
No, I have one more question. Is that a George St. Pierre sponsored light, or is that something that you got yourself?
No. That's all for me, man. That's all for me. Yeah. You know, us French
George,
Canadians.
Is that how George gets his cover shoots done? Is that the move?
Yo, B, all us French Canadians are a little vain. All right. So, yeah.
Oui.
Right? Mon ami.
Is that on there?
That was good. That was good French. Hey, listen. So Killick, Spindrift, Killick. You know what a Killick is? A Killick is an anchor. That's it.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Very
also
very
a rank.
apropos with the Spindrift.
Yeah.
That's it. So I like it.
Yeah.
Reed, what are you drinking over there?
I'm drinking Citra Singularity from Spyglass Brewing. It's a double IPA, 8.5% ABV. It's got it's double dry hop with Citra.
Sounds
excellent.
It is very juicy. Great morning beer.
Perfect.
Father of the year.
Beers
Over
are
here.
so underrated.
Man.
Like you got to start one like that.
Super necessary. Yeah.
You know what I've been on this for sure. This pandemic, I kind of slipped off my my game a little bit as a Boilermaker. You know what a Boilermaker is?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just hadn't like.
Do you know what a Boilermaker is, Sean? In Canada,
Yeah.
is that a thing? All right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of it's like the weekend go to kind of move, right? But like now it's like the the Wednesday go to also because you just
Times are pretty rough over there, Brad. Need a Boilermaker?
Yeah. It's 8 a.m. on Monday. Time for a Boilermaker.
Listen, it's something to relax you. It's something to think on. That's all you gotta. That's all you gotta get there.
Well, I live in Canada. All we have to do is just roll up a doob. So
You live in Canada?
I do.
I didn't. I had no
You
idea.
understand Brad lives in Washington, and Reed lives in Massachusetts.
That's
so
because your accents.
We
Your
could all roll up
accents.
dubes.
Yeah.
It's all
I
legal
don't know.
here.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. What the rule of Canada is, but I can just walk down the street.
Yeah.
And
And plus, in Massachusetts,
Load up.
it's been decriminalized forever. So
Yeah. Well, don't forget it was Jean Chrétien that wanted to make it legalized way back in the day there, right? So
no one knows who that is.
the Prime Minister of Canada.
Oh.
Yes.
I wasn't aware of the prime ministers until Paul Maurice.
was
Paul Maurice. What are you talking about? Paul Maurice. What are you talking
I made
about?
I made up a name, and I guarantee you, there's a prime minister of Canada
There's
named
no
Paul Maurice.
There's no prime minister that was ever
I thought it was
named Paul
Mario
Maurice.
Lemieux. I thought that's who it was.
Lonnie McDonald.
Hey, what do you think of the new picture in the back there? We got good old number 9 back there, with Frank Mahovlich. So we have
Yeah,
Gordie
Mr.
Howe,
Hockey.
Frank Mahovlich, Johnny Bauer in net.
Johnny Bauer, yeah.
Yeah. So without his mask. Yeah.
Who's in the background there?
I have to have a look here.
Oh, come on. You hung
That
the
number,
thing up
I
and you
can't
didn't figure it
tell.
out?
There's no number on that dude. I don't know.
Did your wife hang that up in your office? Is that the thing?
No, I
She's
just hung it
she's
up here for
decorating it?
just for this podcast. I hung it up here, So
Oh.
I told you
It's a
I
nice
had a
touch.
surprise for you. I said I have a nice
Yeah.
surprise for you, Brad.
Yeah.
There's a surprise.
It's a wonderful surprise with you being able to name 4 of the 5 people in the picture. That's
I just named 3. All right, the
You
other
named
2.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to use some extra credit.
yeah, really.
My math
Boys.
isn't very good.
My gosh, this feels like what you guys said. This is going to be the garage. It feels like a beating going on in the garage right now on me. You get a tag teaming. It's a handicap match.
That just took a weird turn when you said we were tag teaming you. It's like, Jesus,
Yeah.
Sean, you got to work on your delivery and your phrasing.
I know
Listen.
that English maybe isn't your first language, but you've got to really.
I don't think it's his second or third language, to be honest with you. It was Pakistani and then freaking Arabian,
French.
Russian, then French.
French.
He was smuggling
a
drugs.
little
to Russia.
Croatian, I think, built in there too, based on your bone structure.
Yeah, Croatian or Dagestani maybe or something. He's got a little bit of Habib going on there in the eye and nose region here, and that brow. He's got a very Habib looking brow there. So
My brow,
more to
man.
break your nose with. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a forehead, but it's a 4+ head. That's what that is. That's
4 and change.
Oh,
that's a 2 by
man.
4.
So lots of stuff going on in the world of sports here this week. Like I thought it was gonna be a nice slow week, and it just hasn't been. No. We touched really quickly there, Brad, on the Jim Rutherford situation there.
Yeah.
And hockey's just going full swing. Patrick Laine is going to be starting on Tuesday.
Did Jim Rutherford get in trouble? What's this about? Why
I don't
now?
know. Like it's so weird because they said it's not health related or anything like that. It's just he's stepping down.
Is he getting like Me Too'd or something? Like what? I don't understand that move. This is a weird time. Like, is he getting hired somewhere else? Like right off the bat, like Jim Rutherford. It's a weird time.
They said it's not health situation, right? It's not health or
Right.
anything. But who knows? And if he's getting Me Too, then they're doing a really good job sweeping that one under the rug.
Does he have kids?
Yeah, I think he's got.
Yeah.
I think he's got a gang of kids and grandkids
Maybe
now.
he might have some parental constraints.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't want to throw any disparaging remarks on the man. I mean, because I honestly don't know what's going on, right?
Well, the people at Pittsburgh have been dancing on his professional grave now since the announcement was made. They hated that guy for some reason, which Pittsburgh, I'll never understand. Crosby, Malkin, Letang, you had the Flower in net for all those years. Like, how could you hate a guy like Jim Rutherford?
Well, Jim Rutherford came over after Crosby. Malkin.
We're not talking about draft picks. We're
Okay,
talking about
okay.
keeping that core together.
Okay, got it.
What
Yeah.
team has been able to do that successfully in the salary cap era, as well as he done? Because Malkin's the
can't
number
think
one
of-
anywhere else.
Yeah, I can't think of another team to go back to back in the
No,
salary
that-
cap era like that. You know what I mean? Like,
But keep
That's
that core together of like insane
Yeah.
talent. That's insane. The guy deserves a lot of credit for that, and it's kind
absolutely.
of messed up.
yeah, absolutely.
Good luck, Jim. Whatever you're doing next,
Well, I
Shine
hope,
on, you
I hope
crazy
he comes
diamond.
back. What's that?
shine on, you crazy diamond. He'll get a job somewhere else, probably consulting, maybe.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that Sean and I talked about a little bit on Friday was that, or Thursday, whatever day it was, is that, Rutherford to me feels like he's the Jerry West of the NHL. And so it wouldn't be a big surprise if, he ended up consulting somewhere, maybe even back in Pittsburgh or, one of their teams, someone could pick him up.
Yeah, I mean, like Alec Baldwin left Twitter because his wife thinks she's Spanish. You know what I mean? Like it's tough these days. Like any type of forward-facing public position you have like that, it could get exhausting. So sometimes those consulting gigs, you get to be the guy behind the guy. Nothing, no
Scotty
blowback.
Bowman.
Yeah, you're not
Bowman in
you're not
Chicago.
catching any heat.
Yeah.
You
Look how
just
much
get to
love
sit there.
Scotty Bowman and Jerry West get.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
still make real money and probably make
Yeah.
more money with less responsibility to be
Probably
honest.
more money.
Yeah,
in the
when you
grand-
got a
in the grand
mind
run
like
of it,
that,
right?
yeah, you got minds like that. It's like, of course, you want to pick it. You want to understand what's going on in there, because
Somebody's keeping him on retainer to just pick up a phone when it rings. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
something like at the very least.
You think about
Oh
the
yeah,
years.
that was the Jerry West move in Memphis when they started
Yeah.
really to build out. Right, he just would show up to some practices. He was at some games,
Yep.
and then he was answering questions on what they thought that move should be.
Yeah,
who they should
absolutely.
get out because he understood culture, right? And that's
Yep.
that's what Rutherford did in Pittsburgh. Is he understands culture because that's where you win in the salary cap era. You win at culture, right?
Yep.
You can crunch all these numbers and get it all together, and that stuff plays. But if you don't have the culture right, it ain't gonna matter.
But look
Nope.
at that though. Look at what he did there to get Phil Kessel, and we ended up getting Kasperi Kapanen on the Leafs side. Right, we get Kasperi Kapanen coming over, and then he gets Kasperi Kapanen back. He makes a trade to get Kapanen back. I mean, he's brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah. He's a goddamn snake, if you ask me. Like that. That's like one of those moves where you're just like, and I know he did it to Toronto, so it's not that impressive. It's like pistol whipping a blind kid, but
It's like
I can't even
Reed,
argue
I need
that.
your help with this. I was trying to make this point the other day, and I couldn't remember who the player was. But who was the guy, the linebacker that the Patriots had? He wanted more money, and so Belichick sent him
Jamie
to-
Collins. Jamie
Nope.
Collins.
Nope.
That was 100% Jamie Collins.
Oh yeah, Jamie Collins. I thought he was a Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
Jamie
Jamie
Collins.
Collins. And then he brought him back recently. Like that's crazy.
He put him in timeout
Yes.
because he went.
He's like, oh, you want more money?
It's not that he wanted more money. He went public with wanting more money. He
Yes.
publicly started talking that shit. And Bill's like, I'm gonna have you working at a Starbucks in 2 years if you don't settle the F down.
Yeah.
Go to Cleveland and work your shit out, and then come back here for less money than I was paying you in the first place. Yeah, Bill Belichick sucks.
Or
That
he's
guy's
brilliant. One or the other.
Yeah, brilliance can suck.
I laughed when he came back because Collins left with one name on his jersey, then came back with senior on his jersey. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, man.
that's that Cleveland shit, man. You know,
Oh.
everyone that goes to Cleveland, it's like, yeah, you have a kid, you're senior now. It's like, oh, boy. Knock it off. That might be my least favorite sports trend, other than that that Odell Beckham Jr. haircut, where it's like the curly fries and they're bleached to shit.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill's been rocking it lately, you know.
DK Metcalf too.
DK Metcalf looks fucking good though. All right, I have no problem saying
Yo, that guy's Jack, man.
that. He's a handsome son of a gun though.
Yeah.
Like he really is. He's a beautiful kid. I like he's sitting there on the sideline. I'm just like, he's always sulking, a lot this season. He's always pissed about something. He's like, how do I have 200 yards and we're losing a game?
Yeah.
But I get
It's because he dropped the touchdown as well.
because he drops the touchdown.
The ball hit him in the hands.
But that motherfucker could be a model probably. It's one of those guys that's like, dude, you're in the wrong line of work. What do you?
Well,
Giselle
when your
makes more
dad's
money
an
than
offensive
Tom.
lineman, a professional, played in the league. Your mom's probably a dime piece, and then
Yeah,
you get those genetics put together.
it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Hey.
kind of like the exact opposite of what happened with Sean. I'm sure.
I'm beautiful. What are you talking
You're a handsome guy, Sean. I'll give you that.
about?
You're no Brad Tesh, though. I'll give you that much.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a dime piece. Look at that guy.
Yeah.
Got a workout in
well.
this morning. Jeez.
Yeah.
Finally,
He's keeping it together.
Ah.
Yeah, first ballot Hall of Fame.
That's right.
God.
Speaking
my
about
junior
dime
team.
pieces. Speaking about dime pieces, Reed. I wanted to get into you, buddy. I wanted to get into
Again,
Reed Homer.
phrasing.
We gotta start over.
I'm gonna get another beer real quick. You figure that line out again.
We'll
one more
figure
time.
the intro out while you're out.
That did not come out right.
No,
I want to get into
it
you.
sounded a bit like you were trying to pick him up at the bar.
That's exactly it. It didn't come out right at all. Okay, edit point.
No, I think we leave that in. That's,
No,
that's-
man, that's really bad. That's really. I want to get into you, Reed.
Yeah. Speaking of dimes, I'd like to get into you. Golly,
Hey, Sean,
man.
do you understand what we're talking about here? Like, is this processing? You're catching what we're like? You know what we're talking about here, right?
I might keep that in, man, because that's pretty funny.
You should leave it in. It's old Johnny Carson bit.
Get into you, Reed.
It's weird, wild stuff.
Have you guys ever seen that Johnny Carson interview with Zsa Zsa Gabor?
Oh yeah, I
She's
haven't
got her
seen that in
cat?
years, but I always watch the highlights of the Johnny Carson show on YouTube.
You got that cat on her lap?
Yeah. You gotta link that. You gotta link that in the group because that is classic.
We'll throw that out there.
yeah.
I'm making a note now.
So Reed, I wanted to get into
Sean?
your fighting career. What first off? All right, what got you to even think about? Because you're a smart guy. You're
Thank
no
you.
dummy.
Yeah,
You're no
I
dummy.
tell people that all the time. You know.
I honestly think that you could be a member of Mensa. You know,
Yeah.
you have a great IQ. I think
Probably.
it's way up there.
Do you eat whale blubber?
Was that?
Does he eat whale blubber?
Does he eat whale blubber?
I have.
Okay.
I have. Not on the reg though. It's a thing in
All I know about
Massachusetts.
Mensa, I think, is you have to eat whale blubber.
Yeah, it's a thing in Massachusetts. You can't get whale blubber,
I learned it
which is
with
weird.
Myself and Irene. That's where my only Mensa conversation has been for me, myself, and Irene.
We have a lot of Mensa cigs in Massachusetts, but
course you do.
it's conflicting because like you got the whale blubber, you know.
I've eaten
Very
seal
liberal
meat.
here.
I've eaten seal meat. So
Great singer.
whatever
Whatever you gotta do to get concert tickets, Sean.
So anyways, so
Was Heidi there?
What would make you want to even think about a career in MMA?
Well, you know, for me, it was like I'm 18 years old, so I was a fucking idiot. It was a time when the pinnacle of the sport was UFC, and I think the top guys were maybe making $20,000 to $30,000 at the time. So you know, for me, this all started when I was about 14. Hanging out with my buddies, we always watch Pride, K1, Shudo, Pancrase, King of the Cage, Rage in the Cage, any UFC events that were coming up, and it just seemed like it wasn't the high school sports thing. You know what I mean? It was a little different. It allowed you to kind of mix everything up. It was just you out there. There was no offensive line. There was no goalie to blame it on or anything like that. It was just like individualistic, and it gave me an opportunity to kind of express myself in an individual way. And it was just a culmination of a lot of things. Just where I was at personally in life. Again, I always did well in school, but family issues at home. You kind of end up washing up in West End Gym in Lowell, Romalo's boxing gym. You end up in these wrestling rooms, and that's where you work out your frustrations because it's there in jail for people like us here in Lowell. And that's pretty much that's where it started, I think. It never dawned on me or occurred to me that I could go to college someday.
Right,
just the neighborhood I grew up in and my background it wasn't even an option. Like it was like I'm going to be a garbage man, maybe if I'm lucky. Like if I work real hard, I could be a garbage man. Like that's the shit. Or I could just go out there and get my head kicked in. Do that for a few rounds a night.
Now, I remember because we sailed. You showed me some pictures of you as a fighter there. You had a nice. You were rocking a mohawk back then, eh?
Yeah. I always did my hair up different every fight. It was a blue mohawk, pink afro, green mutton chops. So always a little something. And again,
Interesting.
Yeah, just this.
That's why you hate this whole OBJ trend, is because they're not giving you the credit.
Dude, I went through that shit when I was like 16 to 18. It's like time to move on. You guys are damn near 30.
If you had millions, though.
Oh, right now, like
that's what I say.
You guys wouldn't even know what to expect. I'd be out there I'd look like decaf, but all blubbery. That whale blubber you're talking about.
Yeah. I say that every time someone gets in some sort of perceived trouble. I'm like, man, if you'd have given me multiple millions of dollars at 22 or 23.
Yeah, it was Bieber, Justin Bieber for me the entire time. I'm like, that kid's handling it better than anyone could in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, just the money alone, right? But you put the money in the fame where you can do almost as you please.
Yeah, and you don't have to work. You don't have anywhere to be.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
Yeah.
So how long did your mixed martial arts career go on for there?
Oh boy. So professionally, competing professionally, there's some kind of a commissioning body. It was always the ISKA or USKBA out of New Jersey would come to Massachusetts because it was illegal in Massachusetts. Essentially, the state wouldn't sanction it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
For a very long time. Yeah.
Right. I knew
think
New York.
I
I didn't know
was
Massachusetts. I did.
yeah,
not
I was
know.
in the Navy. I was in the Navy when they finally legalized it. We've only had really one UFC in Massachusetts, and that was Boston. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, the first time, right? Like that's how
Okay,
crazy it is. And they really haven't been back since. But so
Which
it
is
was all
crazy given Dana's
ties there.
affection for Boston.
Yeah, he's a South Boston dude. He had to leave for reasons, allegedly. I get it, but yeah, it's a tough state there. We're a bunch of prudes here. Happy hour is illegal, so of course MMA would be right. But we
Think Dana White's nervous when he comes back to Boston?
probably.
It's interesting.
Yeah, there's some kid
Imagine
of
being
some
that guy
like,
when you're nervous in only one part of the world. Because I don't imagine you're nervous in many places.
oh, he's in Dubai having a great time. Like that's where I'd be nervous.
So yeah, so it was illegal in Massachusetts.
It was illegal in Massachusetts. So my professional career officially starts when you're 18 because that's when a sanctioned body has you a professional record gets developed, right? And amateur, if anyone hasn't seen it before, they sometimes wear headgear, usually slightly larger gloves and shin pads. Never had an amateur fight in my life. Probably should have, but it wasn't a thing back when I was doing it. So realistically, I started fighting for money when I was about 16. They have these things. Yeah, they have these things called like smokers, closed gym matches. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like there'd be like little events that somebody would put on, kind of like backyard shit or whatever. And dudes from the different dojos around the area would, show up, and they don't give a shit what your age is, what your weight is. There's no medical testing or whatever. It's just like
you have to wear a banana hammock to get in the ring, or are you allowed to wear
some? I mean, I would. But it was highly discouraged. That didn't stop me because again, this is about individualism.
I was just asking for a friend.
Yeah, Sean, that friend,
maybe.
Why in the world?
Yeah, so it was
the
essentially
only person I know that does athletic activity in a banana hammock in front of a crowd. Like that's all. That's why.
What? Because of wrestling? Get out of here.
Yeah.
Sean, that was a pretty. It was a very scantily clad outfit that you had going on. It was very revealing. More revealing than we need to know.
Yeah. We know all your business.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so my professional career was literally only 18 to 20 when I left for the Navy, right?
Yeah.
I was going to UMass Dartmouth. I was going to be a marine biologist. I was fighting full time, training, 4, 6, 8 hours a day. Fighting in sanctioned events every 3 months, fighting in unsanctioned events every other week. It seemed like,
Jeez.
Training all over the place, and it just wasn't viable. Then, when I first turned pro when I was 18, they had a show called The Ultimate Fighter started up, and they were looking to cast it and stuff like that. And it was just like, I was 18, and they looked at me like I was jailbait. They're like, we can't have you living in a house with a bunch of other fighters with alcohol. It would be a fucking nightmare. And Joe Lozon's little brother, Danny Lozon, he was younger than me, who we nicknamed the Upgrade because Joe Lozon was so good. Danny was the fucking future. Had a little bit of problems that kind of sidetracked him, but it was one of those things where like, yeah, you can't get into the Ultimate Fighter house. You're too young. You have to be 21. That was years away from me at that point. So join the Navy.
That was the kibosh on the career then at that point?
Yeah, pretty much. My dad said, hey, everyone's going to serve in the military, but yeah.
Wow.
Haven't really touched fighting. Had a lot of great friends still to this day from those times. You run into a lot of people like even Calvin, he bought a local promotion around here, putting on fights and stuff like that. So, you met a lot of great people.
Yeah.
They were able to stay in their careers, keep it going at whatever level. There's guys that stay in these minor leagues around here 20 years now, it seems like, they just love to fight. And this is one of those things, people from Texas want to talk shit, that they're so tough. It's like everybody in Massachusetts just loves to fight. There's an MMA promotion going on in every quadrant of the state, a couple of them, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, hands down. It's a big fight culture. So
yeah, it's interesting. It's that way up here, at least until this pandemic kicked off. But all the casinos, you could catch a fight within a 40-minute drive of my small little piece of the woods, right? So,
yeah.
That's why I think that Brad, honestly, that's one of the things that I love about Whidbey so much was the fighting culture up there, because there was so many dudes I'd run into that were, training, and there was a kid that killed a kid downtown Whidbey, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jason Ellis. Yeah,
Yeah. I remember hearing about that.
In his defense, he did warn Buddy because he was being filmed by Buddy, the guy who got murdered.
Filmed by his buddy's friend.
That's his buddy's friend, but he told him. I don't know how many times he told him.
Five times.
5 times. I'm sorry. At that point, yeah, that's on you.
Well, that's what the judge said too.
Yeah, and Seattle has Phoenix Jones, who is also an MMA fighter, also dresses like. I love that's watching when I first got stationed in Washington. I heard about the mutual combat law. I was like, I'm home. Holy shit, we're home. There we are.
You agree to mutual combat. I love it. I loved it when I heard it.
It's like, hey, cop, get over here and ref this event.
People hate on the Northwest all they want to, man. We got some real laws here.
That's a real law. That's a great law.
That's a real ass law. You guys aren't Puritans like we are over here. You guys.
I laugh when I saw Phoenix Jones in person. I was like, man, I get why you can pick a fight with anybody. Like, man, little Mighty Mouse in a costume, and you got a guy that's 9 beers in. Man, the guy's
not going to go good. No, not going to go good at all.
Because you think it's going to go good, because you're looking over the top of his head when he's talking to you.
Yeah. You're like, I got the altitude, I got the high ground, but he's also dressed like a fucking superhero, so that should probably warn you about something.
But not when you're that deep. When you're that deep, you're thinking about how you're going to brag about it while you're eating at Denny's. You know what I mean? About how you ass.
I would power Phoenix Jones' ass.
I'm gonna power bomb him.
We knew about him before he got his notoriety, and so like that was his move. I think he just liked to fight, and so he would just roll through, and there was dudes trying to like. I'm telling you, like they wanted to brag at Denny's about beating up the guy in the costume on the street because that wasn't it's Seattle, right? There's a bunch of crazy folks running around.
Hell yeah.
Man just didn't know what he was capable of, and he would just destroy folks.
Dude, leg kicks. Like he trains MMA. Just because you watch his fights, he throws these outside leg kicks.
Yep.
Right above the knee, right below the knee, like the sweet spots. He's so good at it.
It's so man. Like,
especially to a drunk guy who doesn't know what the fuck's going on, isn't conditioning those shins.
Oh, buddy, you're gonna be hurting. Think about it. Conor McGregor right now is on the sidelines for 6 months because of those leg kicks.
Yeah, and he trains
exactly on the sidelines.
You guys have both been kicked in the leg by like in that world, right?
It hurts.
It sucks anyway. Imagine if you don't know what's gonna happen.
Brad, get one of your daughters. Plant your foot down. This is why I always tell everybody about leg kicks. Plant your foot down. Heel and ball your foot. Everything's touching the ground, and let one of your kids kick you in the meaty part of the calf.
Yeah, it sucks. Listen, I that's all the kids in my family. Mostly the girls when I teach them self-defense or how to keep somebody off them. Yeah, number one, if they're coming at you and you got away from them, like right in the shin.
Yeah, circle away and then boom, right in the shin.
Unless you get one of those guys that deaden their shins, right? Like putting the old glass Coke bottle up and down their shin. And then
but that guy's not trying to. Right? That guy's not trying to grab 7-year-olds.
No,
man. He's too busy. He's too busy kicking trees.
We talk about kicking in the shins, manipulating pinkies, and how to choke out with
small
your shirt.
Digit manipulation.
Yep. If someone gets on top of you, how to pull, that move where you pull the shirt and then you twist it to choke them.
Yeah.
We teach that move. Those are the 3 things I teach them, and I feel like
you should always teach groin strikes.
Well, they know that too, but man, listen, that's a very dangerous world because then they try to get you on the sneak attack. Because I get kicked in the leg a lot on the sneak attack. I also taught about the groin strike, and every once in a while we had to set some firm rules.
Make
with the okie doke, you know what I mean? Don't just be hanging out,
Yeah,
come in like they're coming for a hug and just give me the uppercut.
Whack!
My 2-year-old's already doing that. I haven't showed her shit. Like she's just picking it up. And the problem is she's watching UFC with me every time.
Oh, there you go.
I'm like, I gotta cut this shit out. Like this is not good.
Nope, you gotta teach time and place.
So I'll never forget when I was training Krav Maga over there with Stan Pederick, who was a friend of the show here, and there's this guy from Montreal that showed up there to come train. And I don't know what this guy was like violent. Like,
are you talking about Martin again?
No. It was extremely violent. And like when he was going, instead of like pulling up or slapping the leg or something like that, as opposed to going right full for the gonads, he'd go for my gonads right every time. So finally, I'm like, okay, that's enough of this crap, right? So I showed him, like, like.
So you grabbed him by the gonads.
Oh yeah, as hard as I could.
Nice. The power play, my friend.
It's like, what are you doing?
Did you yell, "I'm the top" while you were doing it?
I'm not a bear. I'm an otter.
No, man. It's like, yo, we all have to come back the next, I'm coming to training 3 times a week. I got a regular job to go to. I don't want to be walking in there with some sort, because you're trying to get this realistic training.
Dude, that's like the from my fighting days. That was always the best thing. It was never the shit that happened in the ring. It was always these dudes who would order a UFC on pay-per-view, and then they'd find our school, our dojo, and they'd walk in and be like, "Oh, I don't think that'll work on me. You don't understand." It's just like, okay, sign a waiver. Sign the waiver. And they're like, no. I don't want to hurt anybody here. We're the heavyweights. So it's just like, oh, no, I'm putting you with homeboy over here who's 155 pounds soaking wet. I'll have to smash this little dude up. I'm like, please sign the waiver. Please sign the waiver, and we'll get you. You'll smash. Sign the waiver. And every fucking time, it's like, just they'd never come back. To get their ass whipped, they never come back. It was always the nerds in high school that came back. That were like, I need this.
I love
this. Is my place. Yeah. This is a true meritocracy. No nepotism, no money, doesn't matter. This is a meritocracy in its purest form. It was always my favorite thing about seeing that shit. And some people that would go too hard in the paint. We always said ICE, intense controlled execution. Right? Don't hurt anybody. Go 30, 40%, right?
Yeah. Realistic, right? Yeah, that's it.
Some guys would come in and they just try to beat the shit out of you. One of my good friends, Pete, he was a guy that was getting ready to go on to go off to school for recon marining, marine type bullshit. He just came in there trying to kill everybody, and it didn't go well for him. Despite how strong and how physically fit he was. Again, being in the Marine Corps all that time, getting ready to go off to recon school. It just didn't work. Like you're in our place. This is how we have our rules. Like it's just not going to fly. And then
the guys that I would mess with would they'd give you 30 or 40%, and then you'd feel like you're doing something. And as soon as you cross the line, then they would just roll you up.
Yeah, go walk into any Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, find out who everyone's calling professor with the little black piece of cloth around his waist, and then go roll with him because he wants your money. It's his school. He'll go 25% and get you in, get you hooked.
Some shit. And as soon as you cross the line and try to get over,
as soon as you cross that line, you start talking shit. It's every black belt in the world. It's the most consistent thing. Every Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in the world could fold you into a pretzel.
Man,
that's happening.
It's so funny.
Showed me he would do that, and then he would slap the taste out of your mouth.
Yep.
Have you ever had that? Have you ever actually had the taste out of your mouth? Like I've had that
for a reason. Yeah, it sucks.
My mom would make these great dinners, put the taste into my mouth, and then I'd talk some shit, and then she'd slap that same taste out of my mouth about 30 minutes later. It happened on a regular basis. That's why I had to put
so much the most disrespectful thing that Tony would ever do is like just put his hands on you and like not even fight you as a man. He would just open hand slap you.
Yeah, that's
hard as shit. Like
I disagree. I think that's the most manliest thing you could do because it makes the other person.
Would, Sean. You would. You would think that's man.
As the person receiving it, it's not. It's like
it's not.
Oh no, yeah, it's
this guy didn't have the respect to close his
do, but exactly. It's not
I'm
like
emasculate you with an open hand slap.
Yes,
your hands
like
open
naturally, like
natural.
fisticuffs. Like this guy just like turned it on and beat my ass. Like he was like, I think so little of you. I'm just gonna open hand slap you.
That's Eddie Bravo's got his combat jiu-jitsu thing where they open hand slap. Open hand slaps are allowed. It's submission only for finishing, but you're allowed to open hand slap, which is great because that's like if you walked at any school associated with Gracie, especially the Renzo Gracie Academy, they're slapping the shit out of you. Like you're gonna get slapped your first day.
Listen, if you cup that hand, you come across the ear, you're breaking an eardrum. There's no way fans or buts. It's like,
dude, 45 degrees.
Yeah.
90 degrees here, and you just turn your trunk and just boom. And you get the hand to go from the ear down to the jaw. You can cover a lot of territory here.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be like in
And especially if
Tommy
you're
Boy.
getting
Not
somebody.
Not so much here or here,
Yeah.
but right here.
And if you
Brutal.
surprise somebody with that, oh my gosh.
I
Oh,
slap the shit out of
that's-
everybody.
yeah.
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 That's an old Charlie Murphy joke, right? Is that they used to do that shit back in the day, and then they would have a gunfight afterwards. That's how disrespectful it is.
Habitual line stepper.
They'd have a duel afterwards.
Hey,
Yeah, no,
okay.
honestly, and to get back to the slaps, though,
Yeah,
this is for
yeah.
the kids in the room, right? Stop fighting with closed fists
Yeah.
out on the street because you break your hands, it's a fucking mess, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to have that jacked up shit. Open hand slap is way more effective. There's less breaking points, more power. You're not going to get hurt. Slap each other, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're not going to cut up. You're not going to cut up the guy you're competing with.
That's
He's,
it.
you don't want that scar tissue. So open hand slap.
You can learn to
way
throw a
safer.
punch later. Learn how to
Yeah.
throw your hands first.
Go back and watch the old Pancrase bare knuckle MMA events. They always open hand palm striked and slapped.
That was one of the things about Krav Maga I love too, is that just having the open hand and then having the ability to cup it a little bit, and then your fingers can go into an eye or something.
Yeah.
Like that, you know, it's
John
beautiful.
Jones is the master of Krav Maga. He's poking everybody in the eye all the goddamn time. He's got that shit on lockdown. Like he's out there. He's
So I remember on the ship there, we were doing our little sales there, Reed, and I was doing Aikido.
Can you not call it little sales?
We were doing
we're
our
in the Navy.
sales.
It's already silly enough. Everyone thinks it's a Dick Van Dyke movie. But you gotta call it little sales. Come on, Sean.
So we did a sale together, and I was doing Aikido.
I didn't like
and-
sale. It's very Christopher Cross. You know?
So
Way more
anyways,
about working out on the sail, Sean. That
Yeah.
sounds delightful.
well,
It's
I mean,
raining, man.
It sounds like the start to a novel with a guy who doesn't have a shirt on in the cover.
oh my gosh! So Reed was there. He saw me benching 330 at that time.
Come on, man. All right.
Reed
All
was
you're doing
there.
is
Saw
all you're doing
that.
is writing chapter one.
Yeah, it makes it sound like
Starts.
Reed Homer's in the corner sitting on the treadmill smoking a cigarette,
Yep.
watching me
Watch me
press the
bench
330. And it wasn't 330, it was more like 130. But
Oh, get out of here, you! Anyways, though, so here I am. I'm instructing. I'm doing Krav Maga. I instructed a couple of the guys there. Not Krav Maga. Aikido. Sorry,
Aikido.
Aikido. And
Dancing
dude, I
out
remember
of the
I remember
martial arts.
talking to you about some stuff. You were showing me some crazy judo stuff that I had no idea, and I wanted to know what your discipline was when you were doing MMA. What did you focus on, and what would you consider your greatest discipline in all of mixed martial arts?
Submissions. But, the thing is, like, everyone thinks submissions, and today they just call it Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And, like, there's so many other older styles older than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like catch, catch, can wrestling, catch wrestling, sambo.
Yeah.
We're fortunate here, like all the great schools we have here in Massachusetts, in the Boston area specifically, they all have these judo and sambo clubs that they pretty much let anyone walk in. So I'm like 15, 16 years old going down to BC because there's a bunch of Ruskies having a sambo club.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, put on jacket, put on shoes, and then they just beat the fuck out of you for 45 minutes, and it's like, so it was purely for me, my discipline was like mixed wrestling, mixed submission wrestling
Right.
is how I always described it. I miss the days when they called, mixed martial arts is a great name, but now it just gets associated with Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. Everyone describes it like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty much.
Realistically, it's more boxing and wrestling
Yeah.
than anything else. And then you got the occasional Jiu-Jitsu assassin. But yeah, I was always just let you take me down, get in my guard, and I'm gonna choke you the fuck out.
Yeah.
No matter what. Or break your arm. Omoplata was a real strong one for me. So submission wrestling, I'd say.
Yeah. That's
Real
awesome.
strong judo background, real strong sambo background.
Yeah.
What was your
Brazilian
weight
Jiu-Jitsu.
class when you were fighting?
I went everywhere from 170 to 205. Because back then it's like you didn't have like the UFC roster now has like 550 guys and gals on it, right? There wasn't a lot of competition. So, you'd be trying to get a fight where, I could fight a couple of tomato cans in a row. That's not doing anything for you, right? If some guy's at 195 and he's game as fuck, I'm taking that fight, even though it's 20 pounds over what I should be. Realistically, if I was taking it, 100% serious, not stepping outside of where I should be, I should have been fighting at like 170.
Yeah.
Competing down there.
Remember my buddy
That's awesome.
James was a high school wrestling champ,
Yep.
state champ and all that good stuff. And then, went to junior college because we're
Tough state to do that in too.
Yep. And there was a dude there that fought 205. His name was Tyson. And he was a mauler.
Yeah.
This was like 99 or so, like right when all this stuff was popping off.
Yeah.
Those two got invited to a MMA fight, and we went, and Tyson went first, and he thought he was gonna. We all thought he was gonna maul that dude because that's all we had been a part of, right? And he went in with a boxer, and before he could even shoot in, that dude just cleaned him out in his mouth like it was like a 7-second ordeal.
Yeah.
And James was like, "Shit, what have I got?" So we had to talk about strategy, like real quick, like I had to draw a strategy up because they had never seen, like they just hadn't got like. They were offering like $500 if you won or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And at 18, and you're in college.
18 and 99, that's stupid money.
And you've been getting people. You know what I mean? Like the last, those guys. It was like the last 10 years. Every freestyle wrestling event they'd gone to, they just dominated and smashed. Like, well, how hard is this? I got to take them down and just beat the shit out of them. Like this is easy. That was the plan. The plan was shoot, right? Mount, elbows. Like that was the plan.
Yeah.
And then
that's not a bad plan.
Like, shit, we gotta you gotta wait for him to,
You gotta account for range and timing though of a boxer. That's the problem. Like,
Tyson didn't do that. He just ate a fist and it was over. Like it was.
And that's how quick it would be over. And that's the thing is that it's sad. It's sad. Brad, you gotta tell Reed about your Chris Lieben story there.
One
of my favorite all time MMA fighters ever. Chris Lieben.
He was dating a girl from here who she now dates Patrick Chung from your Patriots.
No shit.
And
I love Patrick Chung.
So Lieben comes to he comes up here to Whidbey, and for a party. It wasn't even a UFC thing. He was because he was training in Everett or whatever, right? And just down the street. And so they came home for the weekend or whatever, and we had a party for my buddy. We call him Little Steve, but Little Steve is 6'2", 305 of just pure Italian. Like he's like, yeah.
So it's ironic.
He's Uncle Steve now at my house, and he's ready to get down with anybody. He just protects my kids, and it's like the best thing to have is Steve, right? Like, at 17,
I got a
Steve
couple of dudes like that.
Yeah, Steve would go out of town with us on we'd play basketball, and he was a D lineman, and he was probably like 270 in high school.
Jesus.
Just this massive deadlifted thigh, like the first guy I knew that ever had like real thighs that wouldn't fit in jeans.
Eating everything in sight.
Yeah, and he would just go to the away games and just would sit in the stands and like wait for some middle-aged dad to start talking shit to the high school basketball players. Like, outside, he would just be like stopping people.
He'd be like, "Sir, you and I are gonna do this."
Excuse me, sir. We'll be out in a minute. Okay.
Pardon me, sir.
Excuse me. So, it's whatever year Lieben's getting his move on. Here.
Hi.
All right, we got a little distraction there.
It'll happen.
And that's the best of it, right? It's the move. And so, Steve's not afraid to throw with anybody. And so we're there and we're in the backyard just drinking and having a ball bonfire. And those two start, not John, but just kind of and Chris is like 225 probably at that point.
Yeah, if he's walking around
60 pounds of each other.
Competed at 185.
Yeah, but Steve's got these long ass arms, and so they're just fucking around, and then pretty soon, next thing I know, they're slap boxing around the bonfire, and Steve just open hands him like a damn grizzly bear. And Chris like this and looks at him. He's like, "If you do that to me again," he's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass." And Steve was like, "Nope." That moment, I was like, "Man, I got real tense real quick," because Chris was in the bag a little bit, and so was Steve.
Yeah.
So it would have been something to see. I imagine they would have ended up in the fire pit at some point. Because
the fire is the ref. It's gonna break it up.
Oh yeah.
When I was a young fighter, so the promotions I used to fight for, they used to fly out these MMA stars, and I use that word very loosely. So the first MMA star that was at my very first fight, my very first professional fight it was in Club Lido in Revere, Massachusetts. If any Africans or Dominicans are listening right now, they know what the fuck I'm talking about. Club Lido. These are the shit. They always had Worlds Night, a lot of Caribbean type shit. But the first time it was what was his name? Jason, the crazy dude. Always had the red skunk stripe down his head there.
Oh yeah, what is his name?
Submission dude, but he'll go out there and box everybody. God damn, it used to be one of my favorite fighters.
I can't think of it. All I think about is the Red Rooster for some strange reason.
Jason Miller. Jason Mayhem Miller.
Oh, there
Yeah.
we go.
That was the first one. The second one was Chris Lieben. So I had driven down to Virginia to fight on a card that Chris Lieben was at as like kind of the celebrity thing because it was just after they filmed the first season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Right.
And Jason Mayhem Miller gave me a piece of advice with a bunch of he's like, where are all the young fighters? And Jason had us like huddle up and he's just like, here's your one secret. Stay away from bitches. And then he went back with the hottest Hawaiian chick I've ever seen in my life and was all over bitches. And then I was like, all right. And then I saw his career take a tumble with that same chick. That's what his first bit of legal trouble was with that chick.
Yep.
Then Chris Lieben gave me the second best piece of advice in my life. Was he's like, my wrestling coach used to tell me in high school, take Copenhagen long cut and line your mouth guard with it. And then put it on before you compete. He's just like, long story short, stop fucking listening to your high school wrestling coach for anything when it comes to this shit. Because it's a bad idea. And it was one of the best things I've ever heard because I always had I collected this like encyclopedia of dumb shit that random men in my life had given me as like, son, you gotta do this. Keep the sun to your back at all times. Pink sky at night, sailors delight, all that fucking bullshit. Chris Lee was like, no, don't do any of that, right? Just throw it the fuck out. That was the best piece of advice. Jason Mayhem Miller was the second piece of advice. Yeah. He's just like, whatever fucking your high school coach gave you, throw it the fuck out.
Unless you want to be like that guy, you shouldn't do what that guy's doing.
That was the nugget that was the nougaty center of that candy bar of knowledge. Because it's like your high school, you think about your high school wrestling coaches, they're all shit shows. Like they're divorced twice or thrice. You know what I mean? Like
Thrice.
They drive a piece of shit car. They make it $30,000 a year. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, it's honorable profession. Honorable.
Okay,
it is, but like you just know it's like it's their visitation weekend because the kids sitting on the side of the mat, like watching everyone else fight.
Dude,
like,
oh man, that hit home so hard.
I'm sorry, when you said about the whole entire bitches thing there, all I'm thinking about is Mickey there talking to Rocky. Women weakens legs.
That's essentially what he was getting at. And I that's another thing from my MMA days. I believed that shit for a long time.
Yeah.
Like I was a high libido boy at those ages, and I used to just spend months just not exerting myself in that way.
not
just because
any life force.
Yeah, no. Just I was walking around with a fucking loaded gun everywhere, and it was a problem because like the periodicity of the fights kept building up. It was like then I just wasn't. I think the kids call it edging now. Whatever the fuck they're calling it these days. It was just I was so tense.
Yeah.
That's
how you make all the bad decisions.
Yeah, thank God for Copenhagen. Copenhagen taught me off the ledge numerous times because I was about to go to jail, but I just put a lip in and be like, all right, whatever. So
yeah, I forgot you used to do the old chewing tobacco there, man. You were.
That used to be my shit, man.
Yeah.
That's that old Joe Rogan advice. Every time you're ready to make a bad decision or a decision that you're questioning, you should put some life force out there and then see if you still would make that decision.
And Joe Rogan's
every time
wise dude because it's like even before I bought my truck, I was like, "Where's your bathroom?" And they're like, "Oh, you got a little nerves." I'm like, "Yeah, something like that. Don't worry about
something
it."
Like that. Something like that.
You get the Puffs Plus with lotion in there. We're like, what are we talking about here, bro?
Don't worry. I'll figure it out.
I'll clean the place up real nice.
I'm gonna be fine. You won't ever know I was there. It's okay.
All right, Reed, I got to ask you: did you see the Toronto Maple Leafs being number one in the whole entire NHL?
Oh my god!
Did you see that coming,
Sean? This is a make-believe season. You're playing. There's a Canada division.
No,
you're playing the same team 10 times in a row.
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
Oh my god!
That's all right.
You talked this shit in the NFL, and what happened? What happened? What happened?
Who cares?
What happened when you talk this shit in the NFL?
We went to the AFC Championship. It's all good.
That's something to celebrate.
It was better than not making the playoffs.
No, it isn't. You know what's great? Winning Super Bowls. Your quarterback was the rushing leader in that game.
Yeah. All right.
When you have
Brad's
have-
dropping the leg drop. You're doing
when
you
you
hit
have
me in
two
the head.
when you have
Holy smokes.
when you have two solid running backs and your quarterback's leading rushing.
There's only one running back that was running there that day. All right.
Oh yeah,
It's
It's still
Zach-
one.
Zach-
It's
Zach
still
Moss was
one.
up.
It's
Yeah.
still one.
Yeah, that's
He
better
wasn't
than
even the
that's better
best
than a lot of
one.
teams have.
That's
Devin,
Russell
Devin
Wilson.
Singletary has all the pedigree.
Yeah.
Russell
He-
Wilson has been prolific with his rushing ability over the years.
Hey,
Prolific.
absolutely.
Consistently.
Absolutely.
Right?
In
I
big
don't.
games,
I do not disagree.
in big
And-
games that he won.
Yes,
Russell Wilson's also going to get spanked if he played Kansas City.
maybe.
What are you
Here's the
talking about
thing.
Kansas City
Here's
for?
the
He's
thing.
in the
Even
NFC.
when they were down to their fifth string running back, Russell Wilson wasn't leading the team in rushing.
It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Josh Allen just was scrambling for the sake of scrambling because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He's in over his head.
I already know that.
I was
already know
embarrassed.
that.
Who was I
Sean,
rooting for?
Sean,
Sean, who was I
real quick,
rooting
how
for?
many-
I know
how many
you were
Super
rooting for
Bowls-
Buffalo. I
How
understand.
many Super Bowls have you got to
No, let's
celebrate?
not even. Let's not even
many
go
Super
there,
Bowls have you got to
Brad. Let's
celebrate?
not even go there, Brad. Let's not even go there. We know how many.
Raise your hand if you've never celebrated a Super Bowl.
Come on, Sean. Be honest right now.
If you never celebrate, never celebrated. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you.
It's pretty weird. 2 out of 3 are their hands are down.
And you have two teams. You've got
No,
double the
they were
shot.
both losers.
Sean,
Here's the thing.
you have
So I
9
was at work.
teams.
Stop it right now. I was at work and I'm explaining to them. I go, look, I'm getting killed. I'm getting killed here by the boys because they're going on about like, we got two teams, Cleveland and Buffalo. They're both in the postseason. I go, it used to be cute. It used to be cute when they were both lovable losers. And now it's just like, it's a point of contention. I don't even understand that.
Sean, you can't have more than one team.
Okay.
Pick a team and stick to it. That's just a
You're a
problem
purist.
solved.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange if you have like favorite teams in different cities too, but like I'll give you a pass if it's different sports. Like, okay, right?
No, here's the thing that we deal with a very specific community. This is going to sound a little racist, but it's against a group of people that no one minds being racist towards. The Portuguese. Now there are a lot of the Portuguese in Lowell here. Love the food. Portuguese bakery down on freaking Gorham Street, one of my favorite places ever. But there's something with every Portuguese kid my age. None of them are Patriots fans because we didn't have success
them.
in the early
Good
to
for
mid
them.
'90s.
Good for
Shut
them.
up, Sean. Shut up. They've never been anywhere else except the Azores for a holiday. That's about it. But they're fucking Dolphins fans. They're fucking Packers
for them.
fans.
Good for them.
They have no loyalty. Here's
Good
what you
for
do.
them.
You pick a team. If you're in New England, you have a team.
I'm a Bills fan. Listen, if it comes down to it, is Bills versus the Browns.
No one blames you for being a Bills fan because that's proximity, right? It makes geographical sense. Brad, what's your team? Is it
Seattle.
is it the Houstons?
No.
Oh yeah, because you got Seattle right there, right? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes fucking sense to me.
Even when it sucked.
Even when it sucked. Even when
Anyways.
like TJ Houshmandzadeh was
I
the
don't even
best
know
thing
how
you
we
had
got-
going for it.
I don't even know
Sean,
if it's got the football.
stop
We're
talking about
the
Cleveland.
Leafs. We're talking about the
You won't-
Leafs.
You won't Cleveland shit. Stop owning Cleveland shit. Because I think you have 9 NHL teams probably.
No, it's Leafs
7.
all the way.
It's only 7.
Period.
Listen,
Period.
it's only 7, and here's how I know because
Yeah,
that's how many Canadian teams there are.
Yeah,
Oh, for crying out loud! Listen,
Yeah.
if it comes to the postseason,
you're rooting for the Canadian
No,
division,
no.
you son of a gun.
yeah, of course I am. If it comes to the postseason, I want to see one Canadian team raise a Stanley Cup. I hope it's Toronto.
Sean,
Well,
I want
even
to
cheer
see.
for
I want to see
Montreal.
one team
Racist.
raise the cup. I want to see one team raise the cup, and that's the Boston Bruins.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how this works.
disgusting. Yeah, but because of how
I'm
many American
disgusting.
teams are there. You got Brad Marchand over there. Yeah, you're disgusting.
Loyalty makes you sick.
You're about
huh?
to play
Loyalty makes you
Zdeno.
sick.
You're about to play Zdeno Chara. Well, actually, Marchand. I'm sorry, not you, but Brad Marchand's about to play Zdeno Chara coming up
I thought you
tonight.
were talking about me and trying to talk trash about Beast.
No, no,
Where are we
Zdeno
going
Chara.
with this?
So Marchand, you know he's not going to be licking Zdeno Chara's face. You know he's not going to be doing any of that crap.
Dude, those guys. Zdeno Chara has been his greatest mentor his
Of course.
entire career. You think
Because he
them
go
wearing a
hide.
different
He go behind. He would hide behind Daddy.
God,
Hide behind
Marchand
Daddy.
never hid behind anyone. All right?
Yes, he
That's-
did. He's a
that's
little
silly.
5'9" jerk. Yes, yes.
5'9".
Although
You're not much taller than that, my friend.
I know, I would still. You know what? I would take that man on my team and not talk about crap about it. I think he's a great player. 100
Where's
points and a great
Brad
agitator.
Marchand? Where's Brad Marchand from?
Yeah, Hammond's Plains.
Exactly.
Nova
Not my
Scotia.
that's your fucking problem.
I know.
So watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Brad's a good dude. He's a good
Hey,
boy.
listen. I'm not saying if he was on my team, I love him too. Absolutely. But he's not.
Wait, hold on. So,
Which team are we talking about, though, Sean?
Just so I'm clear.
Which one?
The Leafs.
So,
Stop
you don't like him now,
Yeah, Brad.
but if
Yeah.
he was on your team, he would be cool.
Yeah, he'd be super cool. Yeah.
Can you make heads and tails of that? Because there's plenty of guys. I love Carey Price. He's on our mortal enemy team, right? I love Carey Price, though. I love his personality. I love his resolve. I love the way he handled those shitty Montreal fans when he first was out there and they tried to boo him off the ice.
Montreal fans are the worst. They're the absolute
fucking
worst.
I love his
Then
resolve.
we're second. We're second. Maple Leafs
But
fans
you know
are
what?
the worst.
I hate Montreal, but I love Carey Price. I got no problem with that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I hear you.
I can hate the individual. I hated John Scott for a long time.
Yeah. But
And
Brad
then he came around
Marchand,
him. It has nothing to
Brad
do with the team, though.
Marchand's got that certain thing where he can get under people's skin. Now, if I had him on my team,
Clearly,
it's
Sean,
great.
Sean,
Clearly.
if it got
Clearly you can.
if it got to your team, if he like it shouldn't matter what jersey he's wearing. You either love somebody or you hate them. That's it.
No. If he's on my
Oh,
team,
yeah.
that's fine. That's fine.
No,
I'll accept it.
no, you
Same thing
can't
with
turn the
Nazim
corner on
Kadri.
that.
Yeah. Same thing with Nazim Kadri when he was here. I loved him.
And
now
now
he's in
somewhere else you hate him.
Colorado. Yeah.
Who's the NFL player you hate the most?
This is
The NFL
unbelievable.
player I hate the most?
Yeah,
Oh, that's Golden Tate.
Josh Allen.
Golden Tate.
Yeah, I did
Golden
Josh
Tate was a
Allen.
Buffalo Bill. Would you still root for him?
It would be
Why
hard
Golden
to.
Tate?
It would be hard to.
I mean, I get it.
He's a
I get it.
he's an interesting person. Yeah.
But you know, Sean, you got to stop measuring people by whether they're playing for you or playing for someone else. I'm a man of the world. I'm earthly. You know what I mean? What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I'm all over the place with this shit.
Yeah.
I can sit there and I can appreciate somebody no matter where they are.
Yeah.
You know, Connor McDavid's face just annoys the shit out of me.
Why?
I love watching him play. Ah,
Why?
man, he's got a stupid face.
He's the greatest hockey
I got a
player of
stupid
this
face.
time period right
He's
now,
got
man.
no. Sidney Crosby's still the greatest hockey player this
Oh,
time.
come on, man. Now you're talking nonsense. Now
I'm
you're
not
talking
talking nonsense.
nonsense.
Sidney
Yes,
Crosby
you are.
was and will continue to be until he fucking retires.
No. You know what? I mean, you might have a point, but at the same hand,
I might have a point. I have the ultimate point.
See, here's the thing: is that when I look at Edmonton,
For all
I
we know,
think-
Connor McDavid's a flash in the pan, Sean. So
no way. Come on,
Sidney
man.
Crosby
He's
has
been,
been
he's been in the league. He's been in the league 6 seasons now. He can't be a flash in the pan.
how many cups has he won?
I agree with you. He has none. Absolutely none.
How many
And that's
playoff-
still with
how many play-
Sidney Crosby is the LeBron of the NHL.
No,
Yeah.
he's not. That's Wayne Gretzky all day, every day.
No.
Wayne-
Sidney Crosby's still in the league. LeBron's still in the league. Sidney Crosby's
Okay,
the
all right,
Jordan.
all right.
Right.
There we go.
So here we go.
Gretzky's the Jordan. Sidney's LeBron.
There you go.
All right.
Exactly. And it's in vogue to fucking hate on
This other guy
Sidney
you're
Sid the
talking
kid?
about sounds like
Yeah.
he's the Giannis.
No. Connor McDavid has got mad talent. Mad
So does
talent.
Giannis. You guys
Yeah,
too?
Giannis is
Yeah.
insane.
You know
Giannis
what?
is
Not even the best
insane.
player in the
I'll
league.
give you that. I'll give you that.
I don't think
Here's-
Connor
my thing.
McDavid's the best player in the league at all.
Like I was
going
gonna give you a point that like you had Sidney Crosby and you had Evgeny Malkin all on the same team, but then when I think about it, you have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the same team. So I mean, okay, that negates itself already. But the thing is, Edmonton doesn't have a great goaltender.
No,
Edmonton-
Sean, you're already fucked up here.
Tell me.
Leo Draisaitl and Connor McDavid play in the same line.
Yeah, I know.
Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin are
No,
two
no.
different lines.
There are two different lines. Yeah. I totally agree with
You
you.
know,
I totally agree.
When Sean gets real animated, he sounds like the Cookie Monster.
No.
Just wait for it. Next time he gets real hot, you'll hear it.
I just want to eat the cookie.
Yep.
And Sidney Crosby, Batman.
Here's your point. I think I'll take your point.
It's all the pro wrestling. It's like, listen here, brother. This guy's a mess over here. And this guy's a real jerk over there, and I'm in the middle of it.
Listen,
I'm
I
taking the
guarantee
whole
Sean
system.
has long sleeves on and a banana hammock on underneath that. Like he's not.
100%. He's
He don't got no pants on.
he's Fijian warrioring it right now. He might have a grass straw on, but no pantalones or trousers
Oh,
or,
pantalones.
or underwears of any
That
form.
man's thighs are exposed on that chair.
Oh God, burn that chair, dude, and wear a
I'm
mask
about-
when you do. Because there's some leakage into that chair.
Oh my
It should not be vaporized and breathed.
I was going to
fucking
play
breathed.
some I'm a Real American there by Rick Derringer. I am a real American.
Rick Derringer. I'm glad you brought him up. One of the greatest musical minds of all time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why do you
Played in
think Vince
Steely
McMahon
Dan
hired him?
all over the place.
Why do you think Vince McMahon hired him for the WrestleMania album?
Vince McMahon's an idiot. I don't know.
Ah. Oh my God, Reed. I love you. I love you because these are great conversations.
Hey, Sean, I got 3 letters for you. XFL. Tell me if Vince McMahon's not a fucking moron.
The Rock just bought it.
I'm waiting.
The Rock just bought it.
I'm waiting.
The Rock just bought it.
Okay, so if The Rock's a fucking moron too, like great. The Rock's not a billionaire. Vince McMahon is.
And Vince
He's the
McMahon's
dumbest
doing-
billionaire, and Trump was our president. Vince
And
McMahon
Vince
is the
McMahon-
dumbest billionaire of all time.
McMahon's starting another football league, and he has
Of course he
Marshawn.
is.
And he has Marshawn Lynch and homeboy.
Brad,
that,
are you excited to see Marshawn Lynch do anything other than sell Arby's sandwiches or Subways, whatever the fuck he's doing?
Marshawn Lynch is about to buy a team in it.
You're not selling me on anything, Sean. Marshawn Lynch is Curtis Jackson. Curtis Jackson at least spent some money on some smart shit. Vitamin Water, Bellator. I get Curtis Jackson throwing some money around at this nonsense.
Yeah.
You're not selling me on anything. Vince
I'm not
McMahon's
trying
getting
to.
another football league, and Marshawn Lynch is the linchpin to the whole thing. Where I'm like, oh, Marshawn Lynch is in. Oh boy, let me get my checkbook.
It's Marshawn and Richard Sherman, so you just take it how you want to take it.
Richard Sherman, I have an insane amount of respect for. The boy went to Stanford. Fuck, I can't say that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a bitch, but
I can't believe I'm about to get into
Smart
this
bitch.
with. I can't believe I'm about to bring this up with a Bruins fan on.
do you want me to mute myself? I'll mute myself.
No. You could. No. I want to hear your thing about this. All right. Now, poor Brad. We've been
Remember
talking a
you
lot of
said that.
NHL here. We've been talking a lot of NHL here, so I feel bad for you, Brad. I do.
I've been fine with my responses.
Anyways, so back
been
last year, the Canadian clubs decided to bring out their all-time teams, okay, with their lines. I was so upset when I saw this. See, you got Sil Laps at center, Matt Sundin down center, Austin Matthews on your third line, and then Dave Keon. And all I'm thinking to myself is you're missing Daryl Sittler and Doug Gilmour on your center.
Hold on. I think you need to explain to me what this is again.
This is the Maple Leafs all-time team.
So this is
All-time team.
So you have a center, a right winger, a left winger, a defenseman, and a defenseman.
Four lines. All right. 6
Okay.
defensemen, 2 goaltenders,
Okay.
GM head coach. So,
Okay.
so right now, everything
How
I saw,
is Austin Matthews even on that list at that point?
that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I
All right.
said. You've been on 5 seasons. What are you doing as a what are you
Can't
what?
grow a goddamn mustache. I don't understand how he's on that list.
And the only reason why he's there is because you know that some guy at TSN is sitting there going, oh yeah, well he's playing right now, and
The
modern day,
kids.
yeah, they're going to be the
Look at the
best
kids.
player
The kids will be
ever.
all
It's
this.
like
What about wait, hold on. What was the argument you just made about that one guy being better than Sidney Crosby?
well, Connor McDavid's not a Leaf though; he's on Edmonton.
I know, but it's the same philosophy that you're shitting on TSN about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Daryl Sittler, 10
I'll be
points in the
quiet
game.
now. I don't know anything
10
about hockey, but I'm just
points.
saying.
10 points in the game. Nobody's ever done that. Daryl Sittler did that.
And
Daryl Sittler did that.
Daryl Sittler comes from my favorite city in Ontario. You know what it is, Sean?
Give it to me.
Kitchener.
That's what
My
all of them
favorite
come from,
city.
though.
My favorite city in Ontario.
Kitchener,
Well, Daryl
Ontario.
Siller's from Kitchener.
So your argument that because he had one good game, he should be on the list, is that what you're saying?
It's not one good game. We're talking about over 1,000 points. We're talking about Dougie Gilmour being one of the best captains on the team as well.
You can't just start throwing Dougie Gilmour into the conversation. You're not done.
No, because they're both missing in there. They're
Yeah, but
both
you
missing in there.
haven't explained to Brad why Daryl Sittler should be on this list because
because
Sittler
Daryl
should be on this list.
Sittler
Because you
is-
said 10 points in the game, and then you're like 1,000 points in his career. Well, how many years did he play in his career?
No,
You got to put that in perspective. If you played 30 years in the NHL, 1,000 points isn't that impressive, right?
No, you played 30 years.
If
You
he
know
pulled,
that too.
hold on, if he pulled the Bobby Orr and got all of them damn points in 10 years, his 10-year NHL career, which everyone forgets
Bobby
about Bobby
Orr
Orr,
doesn't.
I
only did it in
asking
10
for
years.
context. Just give me some context.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Brad. Brad is just asking for context on this nonsense you're throwing at him. Because any
What are you
asshole,
talking about?
it's the NHL. Any asshole can have a 10-point game.
No. He's
Any
the
asshole.
only player in the NHL to have a 10-point game.
I understand that, Sean, but it is such an anomaly. Literally, any asshole can do it. Like it's weird.
My goodness.
Any asshole can do it.
So
It's not a good metric.
you're
I
talking
guarantee.
about.
All right, whoever has the most touchdowns as a running back in the NFL
Listen
probably
to
isn't the
this.
greatest of all time.
Listen to this. Danielle Marshall went to UConn, right? In the NBA. And one time he shot 12 three-pointers in one game.
Yeah.
Does that make him a prolific three-point shooter?
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me give you something about.
Sean, answer the question. It's a simple. It's
No,
so apropos to what we're
But
talking about.
let me give you some context on Daryl
What-
Sittler.
give-
Let's
give me-
just
listen.
stay on Daryl Sittler for a
This is
moment.
the context. What team did Danielle Marshall play for when he made 12 three-pointers?
I don't know what team,
The Toronto Raptors. This is what I'm saying. One good game doesn't mean jack when he's on the all-time
but this is
list.
not one good game. We're talking about.
But that
Daryl
was your
Sittler.
lead. Your lead point was
All right, stop.
that he scored 10 points in a game.
Listen,
So-
Sean, people in Boston love PJ Stock vehemently to this day, and I'll never fucking understand it because he's a guy that he didn't do much except fight people. Great, but he's not an all-time great. People still go to Bruins game with PJ Stock jerseys on and PJ Stock Wrecking Crew hoodies. You have to explain why Daryl Sittler should be on this list over anyone else.
First off, Reed, would you agree somebody that gets a point a game is a prolific goal scorer?
What kind of point? Because a point means
Who cares about what kind of
secondary
point? You get a
assist.
point a game. Are you not?
A prolific goal scorer?
I'm sorry. A prolific player. A prolific player.
A prolific.
I have three
Yeah.
beers down inside of me here. Okay, all right. So
I've got a lot more than that. Mine are way higher ABV than your little Spindrift sparkling water over there.
Anyways, would you not say that though?
Yes, that person a point a game is the average seat before I'm even talking about a Hall of Fame career.
Is the average
For a Hall of Fame career, yes.
for a Hall of Fame career? Okay,
Yes.
so we're talking about a guy that plays 16 seasons, so 1,096 games, and has 1,121 points.
Sure.
He is somebody that deserves to be on that all-time list.
But here's the thing: the guys in front of him on that list, what was their contribution to the sport?
So
Austin Matthews just showed up. He just showed up.
Yeah. Austin Matthews has not been in the league very long. So it's a marketing. Sean, you just got to understand. This is a marketing thing. They got to sell some fucking tickets, or what is this? A documentary? Is it a fucking museum exhibit? I don't know what the 7 is. Is it just you have to understand. They have to get the younger
CSN
generation
is just
involved.
trying to sell that moose knuckle commercial, and they're just trying to get views or moose tracks or whatever it is. I forget what it is. Something like that.
Moose
Listen,
milk,
Moose milk. I love moose milk. Is great.
I
Get
bet
out.
you do.
melted ice cream with a bunch of booze in it. Yeah,
With
why
a
not?
bunch of booze in it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
You Canadians are all right. I didn't know I did not know ice cream melted in Canada until I had moose milk. I was like, I thought it was just fucking -20 up there the entire time.
No, I'm being serious here though, right? Like,
I don't
why is
think you
Austin
are.
Matthews-
I don't think you're taking this argument serious enough.
I
Because you're
am.
missing like a big thing. Is just as with anything else. Go watch the Grammys where you see a bunch of undeserving people winning all sorts of hardware.
Yeah, I know.
What are you doing? Like
Elvis won how many Grammys? How
What
many
if-
Grammys did
I don't
Elvis
know,
win?
what if those lists are
All
really
two.
created to get your
All
blood
two.
pressure up so that you talk about the show?
Yeah, Sean, you're talking about the list. So the list obviously accomplished something. Like such a well-respected sports media outlet is covering. I don't even know what the hell this 7 is. I know what Guys Via Sports is. I know what the 7 is. So they're already like dealing with
The seven
lowbrow.
Canadian teams, bro.
I didn't even know there was 7. I thought there was like 3.
What the?
I thought it was Toronto,
Yeah.
the Detroit Red Wings, and in Montreal. Does Nova Scotia have a team? Like what the fuck?
No. It's far east you go is Montreal.
I know. They're all about the moose heads over there.
Yeah, Halifax Mooseheads, who, by the way,
I have a Mooseheads jersey from a cousin of mine.
Nate McKinnon's out. Came from there, was drafted from there. J.S. Jaguar, a few other guys. Mooseheads got some good players.
Yeah, Jean Jabastin, Jiggy. I miss him
Yeah.
dearly every day. Brad, you'd love him. He's a hip hop head too.
But do you agree with me? Do you think that Austin Matthews is deserving to be in there?
The world isn't a meritocracy, Sean. Like
it's not about a meritocracy.
Deserving. No, when you're talking, all right, real spit. Organization like the Toronto Maple Leafs, as long as they've been around, just through attrition, I think you could make a list that doesn't include Austin Matthews. And I think Daryl Sittler and Dougie Gilmore more than Daryl Sittler, to be honest with you, because he's more of a name. Probably should have been on that list ahead of Austin Matthews.
Yeah,
Austin Matthews will be on a list in 30 fucking years. He'll have his moment.
Listen,
if it pans out the way it should.
But
Yeah,
the
Wendell
list,
Clark in there.
the
Wendy
list
Clark,
was
yeah.
created to spark conversation and controversy.
That's it. That's why
totally agree.
one day on the news, coffee's bad. The next day, it's good for you. Chocolate's bad. Chocolate's good. You need something to talk about the water cooler, the scuttlebutt. This is what these stupid fucking lists are.
This is
They
how Stephen A.
accomplished
Smith
it.
makes his money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But meanwhile, there's an independent list that has Daryl Sittler and Doug Gilmore both at like 4 and 5. You know what I mean? So it's
Define independent. Is it a list you made while you're sitting on the toilet?
yes, that was me. It was 4, Doug Gilmore, 5.
That's a very easy
Wrote this
qualification.
independent list. Listen,
Yeah.
don't worry about who wrote it. All right? I know someone who likes it.
Someone who is independent. I can assure you, it was an independent list.
An independent, unbiased survey. Of one person.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay. Super Bowl's coming up not this weekend, but next weekend. Let's
Yes.
let's get into some things here. Let's unload that laundry there, Brad, because you've been quiet for a while because we've been talking NHL.
I've
I feel
not been
bad.
quiet. The tape.
Oh
is on.
yeah, I know. You came out there with your drop kick here and there. Yeah. Made sure that my face got the laces ripped across my face there. Yeah.
Open hand
Boots.
slapped. It's fine.
You open hand slapped on my chest. Yeah. Then you went woo.
Woo!
Ric
But you know
Flair's
what?
the
You know what
greatest.
happens. You know what happens when they score a goal in Boston? What does he have to do?
Yeah, I know. I heard it a few times.
I don't know, what
when I
is it?
come back.
It's the fucking nature boy. Woo.
Yeah, it's woo. Yeah, it
Okay.
is. Yeah.
I wish I had known that before now.
You wouldn't have had to have Sean yell into your ear. Yeah.
No, I would have. I've been fine. I maybe, I follow Vancouver hockey because it's close. I'm
you got-
transitioning the
How-
Seattle for the Kraken.
That's what I'm saying.
But had I known there was a woo involved, I maybe would have gone Boston because listen, all things Ric Flair. That's just the move.
I know, dude. The timing's fine. But I'm gonna become a little bit of a Sean when the Kraken shows up.
Listen,
Because
is there a better name for a facility than the
no,
Crack House?
no, there isn't. It's so fitting.
It's not the
Yeah,
crack
for
house
Seattle.
though. It's what the heck is it called? It's
Called
something
Flying
like
Fledge Arena.
yeah.
called the Crack House.
That's the corporate name, Sean.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
that's their slave name. We're talking about Christian. We're talking Christian names right
Christian
here.
names.
The Crack House.
Listen. If you refer to your facility by your government name, you're a square.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Don't be a nerd, Sean.
Yeah.
Yo, we don't have
Light-
Maple Leaf
lighten
Gardens
up.
anymore. You know,
What do you call
like
it?
you guys. Well, it's called Scotiabank Arena.
Yeah.
Just like theirs is called TD Bank North. You know.
No, everyone still calls it the Bush, like, or the Fleet Center was when I was a kid because there used to be a bank called Fleet. I don't know what the fuck happened to them. I think they just became TD Bank with Garden. I don't know.
Well, TD Bank's from here, right?
The only thing I know
Canadian.
about banks is like the only
that's
progression I know
that's
of
how-
banks is because of the sports arenas. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
they used to be the Fleet Center, it used to be Bush. I guess they were a bank.
See, look at us.
Now it's the TD Bank North Garden.
Yeah.
You got to
Us
put bank in the
Canadians-
name, so I know it's a bank.
Us Canadians just coming down there, going, "Hey, Boston, we'll take over." Ha ha ha.
You're not taking over shit. How about that?
What do you think TD stands for, brother?
Totally don't.
Toronto Dominion.
Wow, that's dumber than what I was about to come up with. You guys are fucking dumb up there. I'm just gonna say it. What a
You guys
backward
also
city.
make voting machines?
Do we what? Make
You
what?
guys also make voting machines?
No, we don't make the voting machines. No.
The Dominion voting
Dominion-
machines?
Toronto Dominion's not the algorithm breaking machine.
No. I think they came from Italy, but
Oh, you gonna blame the Italians? Haven't they endured enough? They were with Hitler when everything went wrong, you know?
They've given us pizza, so we should just be. I mean, just
Yeah. Yeah, and, and chicken
dude.
piccata, veal piccata, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Piccatas.
That's true. All right, Super Bowl. Let's get into this.
Oh my god. I don't give a shit about the Super Bowl.
Really?
But it hinged on Buffalo, and Buffalo fucked me.
How would you feel if Tom Brady this week it came out that Tom Brady almost wore number 7 because he was chasing his 7th championship ring, which is like the most Tom Brady bullshit ever.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
he's always been the biggest douchebag. I could always recount if you ask me offhand who's the biggest douchebag, I'm like Tom Brady.
I feel
that's the
I feel
douchiest move ever.
Maybe you know this. Are Seal and Tom Brady friends?
Probably.
Because I think their wives control their
Wives
lives,
are-
right?
yeah,
Like
the
they look like
wives
they
tell them
each
what to do.
get an almond a week.
Dude,
That's
Seal,
the
Seal
truth.
Seal used to dress badass back in the day. He had
Yeah.
the shirt open. There was a fan blowing on him. He's like, "There used to be a great tower
Yep.
alone on the sea." The nips blasting. I have not seen Seal's shirt open in about 20 years.
No.
Since Heidi Klum shut up. Same
Heidi
thing with
won't allow
Tom. Tom
Oh,
used to have that boy body back there. It was all pasty. Now he's tan. He's playing golf in freaking Pebble Beach. It's like,
Dude, I think the most arrogant thing I saw was him and Gronk redoing that thing that they did from the AFC
That was the best
Championship
thing I
in
saw. That got me
2019.
on board.
did
You
you,
like
just
that?
did you just use the word arrogant with me, Sean?
Yeah, arrogance.
That's too many syllables, bro. You gotta calm it down. The Blue Collar Podcast, my friend. Watch your mouth. But yeah, that was
Meritocracy.
shut up, Brad. He missed that one entirely.
Hey-o.
He thought that was a transformer.
Listen.
That was a finishing move.
I already said it on the live earlier. I still think that this is like a mirror image of WrestleMania 3, Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan. So,
I'm gonna need you to explain that to
Want
me
to
a
catch
little
a
bit.
pack in his eye on 4th and 2 in the fourth quarter?
I'm telling you.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that Patrick Mahomes has gotta get the body slam on old Tom Brady in order to become the greatest of all time.
I think you are selling Tommy short. I don't think
No.
there's anything in Tom's DNA that wants him to give over this thing.
Oh, he ain't gonna give it over. He ain't gonna give it over.
There's
You
no
know,
wink
Sean,
and nod here of like the passing of the torch. Like that's
This is a passing over torch.
this isn't the passing of a torch. You're talking about two completely different athletes.
No.
There are two very different quarterbacks.
No.
They
Yeah,
play
they
the
are.
same position
Yeah.
on
Maybe,
paper.
maybe
Yeah.
You're talking
the
about two
most
different things.
polar opposite we've ever seen compete in the Super Bowl,
No,
right?
absolutely.
It's insane. The
But
disparity is crazy.
I want Mahomes to win to get it. You know what I mean? That will be the passing of the torch. That will be him.
It's not a passing of a torch, though. Tom
Yes,
Brady-
yes.
All right. If Mahomes' career goes as good as it can go in this era, it still won't be as good as Tom Brady's.
Oh,
Tom Brady is the luckiest son of a bitch on the planet that's ever donned the uniform. That's why we're seeing this
how
whole
can you say
situation.
that? He's been at 18% of all the Super Bowl. How can you say he's that lucky?
Because he's been in 18% of. What you just answered my own question. Like he's had the right thing. You have to be good, but it's better to be lucky, and he's
Okay,
body lucky.
yeah.
I guarantee if you got Tom on the phone right now, he'd say the same goddamn thing.
Even when he lost, he was like, he got beat by luck. When he,
Yeah, it was the most insane shit you'd ever see.
that
when you're
David
like,
Tyree thing is still to this day. I don't get it.
I wake up seeing that image in my head of him like this. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
You guys ever see that movie, The Replacements, with Keanu Reeves?
Oh yeah, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
All I think about, that's what I think about that David Tyree kid is when they put all that stick 'em on that guy's glove. They just did that on his helmet. That's how I feel about that movie. Like, there's no way he catches that ball.
It
That was
happened.
the
It
best.
happened in the Seattle Super Bowl too with
Yep.
fucking Lockett. I was like,
Yep.
why is this happening again?
Yeah, but then the very next play, though.
I was like, why would you do something so controversial to me like this? Show some respect.
Yeah, yeah. Although
Dude,
the Philadelphia
Mahomes-
one, I think was better than the Giants.
Sean,
one,
seriously though,
personally.
seriously though, Sean.
Yeah.
If you seriously think Mahomes is going to have the career that Tom Brady's had,
I think he's gonna have a better career.
oh
Wow.
my god! All right, so Connor McDavid's going to have a better career than Wayne Gretzky.
Absolutely, Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
No, nobody's ever gonna have a career better than Wayne Gretzky. Although Ovechkin is
Why though, Sean?
goals.
Why though, Sean?
Ovechkin
Why?
is chasing his goals. He
Yeah,
almost has
one
goals.
of his 30 records. Why though, Sean? Why is no one going to fucking top a Gretzky?
because the
did?
Wayner was amazing. All right.
Or does it also have to do with the fact that he was amazing, plus the era that he was playing in had a different set of rules, different set of regulations,
Listen,
is a little
It's-
more favorable
this
to the
is-
goal
this is
scorer.
like-
you have a look.
it's-
Have a look at those times.
it's Wayne Gretzky, it's
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, it's
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
I'm a New England fan and I don't like that, but it is what it is.
Yes,
I don't disagree
I'm
with
not a
you.
New England fan.
I
don't
hate
like it, but it is
Tom
what it
Brady.
is.
I hate Tom Brady. I hate his stupid face. I hate he's a dweeb. He's like this dweeb that like won the lottery, and it's just like, God damn it! I gotta
He eats
fucking keep hearing
avocado
about this
ice
guy.
cream
Dude, it sucks. I've made avocado ice cream before. I've tried it. It's not good.
just because Tom did. Be honest.
No, it
Be
was
honest.
before Tom was doing
Okay.
it. And now everyone's eating avocado ice cream. It's at my local freaking ice cream place down here, Heritage Farms. I'm like,
Gross.
what are you guys doing? You guys are like fat fuck chicken tenders. And now you're making avocado ice cream?
Well, it's a
Unbelievable.
balance, Reed. How dare you? It's like the Diet Coke with the Big Mac meal, right? Like you might as well.
Yeah,
go
yeah.
for it.
Yeah. You go to
Okay.
TGI
You know what?
Fridays, you got like the wings, the burgers, everything.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have a Diet Coke though.
Yeah, when you say that his career, I mean, obviously, but the thing is that Mahomes does have that potential to
Sean,
be amazing,
But he-
amazing.
Doesn't matter. It's not about potential. Tom Brady
Mahomes'
had
ceiling is Kobe Bryant, LeBron James
Yeah.
as a
Here-
comparison,
Sean, here's the thing though, you got to understand.
or Sidney.
Tom
Crosby.
Brady didn't have Tom Brady's potential back when he was Patrick Mahomes' age.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
There were six. There's a documentary called the Tom Brady Six of QBs that went ahead of him.
Right.
That's potential. He didn't have it.
Right.
Didn't have it. It was a freak thing. I hope it never happens again. It's like a fucking tsunami
Well,
in Japan.
it's not
I
going to
hope
happen again.
I hope it
because
never happens
that's-
again.
That's my argument for the same thing with Michael Jordan. Is that there's guys that trailblaze, right? The
I
Wayne
hope it never
Gretzky's,
happens again.
The Michael Jordans, the Tom Brady's, they trailblaze. They get us somewhere,
Yep.
and
Let you know what's
it'll never be
possible.
replicated.
Yeah, and it's just you see it with perfect example the UFC today, right?
Uh-huh.
You take a guy who's not even in the top 25 of a division, put him back in that division 10 years ago, he's the fucking greatest champion of all time, right?
Yeah.
Because those guys were necessary. Gretzky was so avant-garde, right? Here's your French for you, Valancourt.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
He was so avant-garde. They changed the fucking rule book, right? And players realized that they had to get faster, they had to get smarter, they had to work, more on their twinkle toes and all that other shit. They had to get smarter. Tom Brady, same deal, made everyone have to get better.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And now Tom Brady doesn't look as insane as he did because everyone's catching up now. He's playing against guys that grew up watching him. The sport's gotten better.
Yeah.
Defensive linemen have edge rushers have gotten better because they watched Tom Brady's release. That was the best thing about Tom Brady.
Yeah, I
3
can't
seconds from
argue.
when the ball snapped to when he's connecting
Yeah.
with somebody.
I can't
Edge
argue
rushers
with
are
you
watching
about
that shit and they're
I can't
ready
argue
now.
with you that.
That's why you'll never
athletes-
have another Tom Brady.
Totally. I can't argue with you.
You'll never have it again.
Yeah, I can't argue with you because athletes
Well,
definitely
stop
have become
saying
better.
Mahomes is it's a passing the torch. It's not passing the torch.
I do. No. I will say that. I love
All
it.
right, what's the
I love
torch
that.
then? Sean?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
you just dug in. on
Cheeseburger.
it.
It's Andy Reid's cheeseburger.
Listen, I just love that. Anyways, no, but you're right. You're right.
Do you
I
think?
mean,
Do you think Andy
training
Reid went to
regime-
KC for the food?
Yeah, 100%.
Why not? The
Yeah,
barbecue.
he had the cheesesteaks. He's like, let's go try the barbecue over there. I like how it gets stuck in my mustache and I can taste it later. Because that dude, it looked like when I saw him got on the phone, and I don't know if it was the last game or the game before. I saw him got on the phone. It looked like he was ordering barbecue.
Yeah.
'Cause I saw him say the baked beans with the pork in it. Like I saw his lips enunciate that shit. I was just like, I'm a fat guy too, Andy. You're not getting anything past me. My name's Reed. Your name's Reed. Nice try, pal, but I know what you're up to.
Yep. Yeah,
That boy
full
was
on
ordered.
smoking beans. That's the thing.
Yeah. No, I think it's the best thing that could have probably happened for the Super Bowl. As much as I wanted the Buffalo to go there, I just don't know if they were ready. When I looked at Josh Allen's eyes, you could see that he was completely shell shocked against that
He's
Kansas
an
City
idiot.
defense.
Tom Brady would have torched Buffalo.
I think so. But with that defense, and Allen would have been completely out of
It's-
his element. I
It's
mean,
the same reason. It's the same reason why I
sad.
think
I'm
the
sad to say
Buccaneers
it.
are going to. I think the Buccaneers are going to torch the Chiefs anyway.
I don't think
Yeah.
so. I don't think so.
Here's
because-
why. You know who knows those Chiefs really well?
Give it to me.
Tom Brady.
Who's already torched them, Sean?
Yes. You know who doesn't
You
know?
think Tom Brady gives a shit about the same exact team?
He's lost this season. What are you talking about? They lost this season.
You're
to the
talking about
Chiefs.
regular season games. We're talking about
Yeah.
the postseason.
Yeah.
Because when Tom Brady torched KC in the postseason, they had lost to them during the regular season as well.
You're talking about the AFC Championship game from 2 years back, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Obviously.
the same. It's the same defense they're going to see roughly.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Tom's game planning for it right now. You know that Tom Brady did not game plan in the regular. He didn't go into Bruce's office in the regular season and was like,
No,
"Here's how we
no,
beat
for
these
sure,
guys."
for sure. Yeah, I
Knowing that
hear
they could
you.
possibly see him in the Super Bowl. Like what? I just watch.
But
It's
do you
not
think?
even
Do you
gonna be-
think? Do you think that Frank Clark and all those boys there are just going to be playing the same old play that they're playing? That they faced him as well,
Dude,
right?
they
faced him as well.
They've gone out there. You can't account for Tom Brady though, like with his nonsense, because he's a guy that again, the deadliest thing about Tom Brady is the pre-snap read and the release.
Yeah.
That's it. That's Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's the best counter boxer in the planet. And he's the best pure boxer on the planet. Like you can't account for that. You can't account for death, taxes, and time and tide. You just can't. Like it's just gonna happen whether you fucking like it or not.
Here's the thing: is that
Plain and
it's
simple.
impossible. It's impossible to bet against Tom Brady. Like I'm
I'm just saying. Tom Brady's gonna go do some Tom Brady shit. If he loses the game, it's not on Tom Brady. If he wins the game, it's probably not 100% on Tom Brady. What he's got down there is a good enough defense.
That's
and
a
he's
great
got-
defense.
Great. I said good enough. That also includes great. It's good enough because that's all Tom needs is good enough. And a great fucking kicker. This has all the markings of a Tom Brady fucking championship. Because Gosowski was like he was off like a
It
couple of those years.
smells
Where you're
real
like,
familiar. Just remember when you were like 10 years old?
I've seen
and
this
you come
movie a
home and
million
open
times.
The door, and that smell of home cooking would hit you in the face.
right in
You
the
knew
fucking
it's not, that's what
face.
this smells like.
Yeah, I've seen this movie before a million times, and we've seen these lethal offenses come in, and the Patriots don't have a fucking chance. Tom Brady doesn't have a fucking chance. And guess what? He had a chance, and he won.
Yeah.
This is KC's a wildly talented team. Tyreek Hill, even though he's a woman abusing piece of shit, they need to put him on Mount Rushmore. That boy is sick fast. Like just
Yeah.
speed alone, acceleration.
You
Good
see
lord.
old Scooter saying he's faster than Tyreek Hill?
Oh. Ugh.
I just want them to race. Like, you know, it's gonna be like would be the best thing is if Tyreek got loose on like the 10-yard line on the Tampa Bay sideline, and then Scooter's just like flying down the sideline behind the players, like they're racing to the goal line.
Yeah, like he's finally gonna make good on that tweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know it's fucked up because I love Scotty Miller, I really do. But
It's a check. It's a check.
sometimes your boy just says some dumb shit, and you're just like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna go get a beer, and I'll come back.
There's there's a trend called white boying, and I feel like Scotty Miller is white boying right now.
That's the greatest trend, and I'm gonna start hashtagging everything I do with that.
We
My
should.
boy.
We should.
Man.
What was it? So Sean,
Well-
you really think Casey's just gonna walk in there and blow out the Bucks?
No, I don't think they're gonna blow it out. It's gonna be a close game. I do.
Oh, you think
I
it's
gonna be a close
you're
game.
talking about
Yeah.
passing torches, like it's gonna
Yeah.
be it's a done deal.
No, man. Even Andre the Giant was almost. Is he gonna let Hogan? Is Hogan gonna slam him? Who knows?
Well, that was scripted. This isn't scripted, Sean.
Well, he had a jump for him. Yeah, absolutely. I know this isn't scripted, but still, it was great stuff. I'm imagining myself right now as a. Let me just think what year that came out in '98. So as a 13-year-old boy. So
You
to
were
me,
not
it was-
13 in 19.
You were, he said 30, Brad. He said 30.
I heard 98 and 13, and those two things.
88,
are not the same.
88.
Oh, 88. So it was 23.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
So Sean, speaking of WWE, I think we beat up the Super Bowl enough. Anyone else have any more anecdotes? Because I have something I want to bring up that I'm very excited about.
I did want to talk about these
I
QBs.
need predictions. I want Super Bowl predictions, and then I got to go pee real quick while you break in your deal.
All right, it's going to be about WWE, so
Okay, I want to hear it. I just need it. I got to do something. I got to see a man about a horse real quick.
I gotta get a beer too, so we'll take a quick break.
Quickly though, predictions for the Super Bowl. I'm going Tommy by 7. I mean, Tampa Bay by 7. Whatever you want.
All right, Tampa Bay by 7. I'm going to say it's going to be by 3 KC.
Tampa Bay 10.
Woo.
At least. At least. I think it's going to be embarrassing.
All right, let's get some beer. We'll come back.
Be right back.
BRB. What are you drinking? Still drinking the Spindrift?
Yeah, it's good.
So I've been assembling this box. So every week I'm like, I gotta send this box out. But then Trillium will be like, oh, we're coming out with this, and I'm like, I gotta wait till that comes out. And I get it, and they're like, we're coming out with this. I'm like, fuck. So I think I'm gonna break the seal this weekend or next, and just send you what I got now. They've been using a lot of stuff with these Tonka vanilla beans, which for some reason I think you're from a place called Tonka. And
it's close to Tonga. It's close. Yeah.
Okay.
Fiji's close to Tonga. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like Tonga sounds like some shit that Sean knows about. Remind him of childhood. But yeah, they've been exploring this vanilla bean from there.
I think that it's a shade of yellow.
Certainly is.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it and see. I think that Sean's latest mankini was Tonga yellow.
Fiona's busy over there. I love it.
Yeah, she's in her cozy coop. It's shaped like a ladybug, colored like a ladybug. She gets in there and talks some real shit. She's got our baby that it's covered in Band-Aids. Because she's been playing nursery.
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's a fucking.
We buy a couple of boxes of Band-Aids a week.
I don't know what I'm going to do when I actually need a Band-Aid. I'm constantly cutting myself.
You got to hide. You got to buy the good Band-Aids and hide them somewhere high. And then you got to have the princess Band-Aids or whatever the
Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, you got to keep those low, and you got to keep them in separate drawers.
Okay.
They just got to know where their drawer is, and then you got to keep their stuff somewhere else.
There we go. There we go.
One time I needed a Band-Aid, we didn't have one. I got really upset. Like spitting on it, and like wrapping paper towel and some like electrical tape around it to like tourniquet it out, and then went to the store and bought the Band-Aid.
That was my dad's idea of a Band-Aid. Yep. My entire life was the Dunkin' Donuts napkin and electrical tape.
Yep. It works.
No, it doesn't.
It's not
Not as good as a Band-Aid.
Yeah, true enough.
So you gotta hide that shit somewhere else.
All right, what was your question there, Reed? You were about to ask a question there.
I was not about to ask a question.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say that the most intriguing thing that the WWE has put together in decades for me is about the drop, and that's WWE Icons Yokozuna. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this, Sean, because you're a big fat party animal from an island, just like Yokozuna. What do you think?
Do you think calling it shots anyway? Then it should be Sean's thoughts. And we get up.
You know, at that time period, you think about it, Yokozuna was like the most feared athlete, right, in the WWE at that point, right?
Yeah, let me just say this. In my opinion, he's one of the greatest heels of all time. I know that's hard to say he's the greatest heel, but he's one of the greatest heels of all time for sure.
He's a great heel. He was a great heel. I mean, the very fact that he beat Bret Hart, right? Like it was scripted, and then Hogan had to come out and take that title from him.
Yeah.
But then he dropped the title to Hogan. You know, he was a great heel. He was a great heel. Was he the greatest heel of all time? I don't know about that. But...
I said one of the greatest.
Okay, yeah, I can go with that. I can go with that.
All right, define one of. Is it top 3?
Top
10? Top 5
for me.
All right.
Top 5 for me. And I'm not heavy in WWE. I've always kept that the peripherals.
Like it's fair. 5 feels fair.
5, yeah. I mean, of course, number 1 for heels is going to be Ric Flair. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
Best
note,
ever.
Real quick. Are you guys watching this little feud between Roman Reigns and The Undertaker?
Yeah, I have.
I actually am watching.
Yeah.
I am following.
It 100% leads to a match in the next 3 months.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is work.
I hope so.
This is what you call working it. This is what you call working it. Yeah, like, and I want to see it. I want to see the dead man come in and smack that little millennial.
I'd pay to watch it before I paid to watch, Mayweather fight Logan Paul or whatever his name is.
Well, Jake Paul.
Hold on. Funkamania.
Oh yeah.
Ben Askren.
Yeah, he's fighting him. Yeah,
he's finally gonna win a fight, guys. He's finally gonna win a fight soon.
Oh, didn't he beat? He beat somebody. He beat somebody already.
He's gonna beat
Robbie
Jake
Lawler.
Paul's ass. Yeah, barely won that. Barely won that fight.
How did he beat
Robbie Lawler's a shell of a man. That's not the point, though. Ben Askren's about to win a fight for the most money he's ever earned in any organization ever.
Good
Because
for him.
those Paul boys, I thought about it. I used to shit on them. Like, I'm talking like a week ago. I used to be mad at them. My boy Argos broke it down. He's just like, listen, those boys have 13-year-old boy money, which is the most powerful money in America, right? 13-year-old white boy money, which is like, Mom, I need to watch the Paul fight. 13-year-olds don't give a fuck about boxing.
I need
But
this
they give a shit about
$75
the
sweatshirt.
It's like, Mom, the gate. You got to think about the gate, the Pauls. Mom, everyone else has got it. You know what I mean? So that's some powerful money, and Ben Askren's gonna get the most paid he's ever.
I can't believe we're talking about this fight. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing!
It's not about a fight. It's not about a fight. It's about Ben Askren can comfortably retire and just continue talking smack on Twitter for the rest of his life.
Boxing's become a circus all of a sudden. I don't understand this. It's just
Boxing's
such a
fine.
circus.
Boxing's fine. I don't know what the hell this is. Boxing's fine. Boxing's great. Anthony Joshua just needs to go out there and fight Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Deontay
I want
Wilder.
to talk about Roman
Get
Reigns
over.
and Undertaker again because this is just this.
I
is
just want to get that out of the way.
embarrassing.
But you know what? Undertaker, in his defense, he definitely said Roman Reigns has one of the most compelling storylines in the WWE today,
I think so too.
which I
think
agree with.
too.
So
Yeah.
so I think Undertaker's pumping the tires a bit on Roman Reigns, but then he also came up with that statement, which I think probably was a little bit
All those
misconstrued.
kids are soft.
Yeah, I think it was taken out of context a bit.
Probably.
I talk shit about kids these days. These guys that are in UFC younger than me, and they're definitely not soft. But I've definitely said that.
Yeah. But in the WWE, when I have a look at it, yeah, those guys are soft. That's all now. Like, let's make it as safe as
You
possible.
can make the same argument though that Patrick Mahomes is soft compared to Tom Brady.
No, you can't. Because
Yeah, you
I'm
can.
gonna no.
You
I'm gonna
100%
tell you.
can.
I'm gonna tell you one name. One name and one name alone should be able to like just
Oh,
solve
boy.
this right away. And that's Mick Foley. All right. Because if you come in there is no young man right now about to go out there. Because here's the thing. Bret Hart comes out there, gets his sternum broken.
Sean.
Go.
I do know that there are people like Mick Foley out there. They're my fucking neighbors. I have these wrestlers that live a house over from me. I'm looking at his face. I'm like, what did you get in a motorcycle accident? He's like, no, there was a cheese grater and they grated my face off. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
That was
And
my
he's just
tag
like,
team part.
There was a show,
Yeah.
in Woburn at the American Legion. It's just like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
We got $25.
Yeah,
that's exactly it.
John, those guys are still out there. If you watch
That's awesome.
Tosh.0,
That's
if you watch
awesome.
Tosh.0, there's that little kid that's probably on the spectrum somewhere who's breaking through glass. He's probably a juggalo, to be honest with you, more than a wrestling fan. But I don't know the difference between juggalos and wrestling fans anymore. It's all the same shit now.
Yep.
And then you get Sublime fans, which are just beach juggalos. Whatever you're gonna do with that. But there's these kids out there that are still hurting themselves.
Yeah.
Bleeding for this. You know what I mean? You can't say it's.
Did they have an ear ripped off? Did they have an ear ripped off?
I guarantee you.
Did they get drunk?
I can jump on YouTube and find you a kid who got his ear ripped off.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Did they get thrown off twice? Once in the
I
Spanish
can find-
announce table.
Whatever,
and once
Sean,
way
whatever
through,
it is,
and then his
whatever
tooth
it
was
is,
impacted
whatever
through
it is,
to his nose coming
whatever
down
it
like
is,
this.
whatever
Huh?
it is. Yes, I will find you a video of it that happened within the last couple of weeks. And guess what? More importantly, when was the last time you did any of that shit?
I'm too old now.
Oh, see, this is the thing I have to call myself out on with the MMA. I'm like, these kids are bitches these days. And I'm like, it's like, when was the last time you went to a dojo? I'm like, fair point. That's a good point.
Fair point.
You're not catching yourself with that one, old man. You got to sit there and realize, like, you get the easy A. Where I'm just like, oh, well, I'm an old man now. Kids these days are just as crazy, if not even more crazy than they were back then.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see the
Crazy.
pendulum shift. Yeah, the 100% crazy.
The camera adds 40% to your confidence.
100%.
Yeah.
And guess what, Sean? There's cameras everywhere now. Everyone's got a fucking one of these, which is better than any camera they had back in the 80s, 90s,
Oh yeah.
early 2000s, whatever.
And they're still, but listen, to come full circle, they're still softer than they were.
Sure. Yeah.
Wait,
There's
you
more
gonna tell-
information. The more information you have, the softer you get.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean they're not just as fucking crazy because you're confusing.
100%.
You're confusing Mick
It's
Foley.
not. This isn't a talent conversation or it's
Yeah.
a whatever.
Mick Foley was
take
probably.
your pen and write this down. It's not a talent issue.
Yep.
It's a you have better access to
Yeah.
whatever, right? Information, gear, all those things.
Don't get me wrong.
Listen,
I
these
think it's
kids,
smart.
these kids will jump off of fences and through tables and all this silly shit. But they'll sit there and they'll bitch about inclusion. They'll bitch about not getting their break as fast as they wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Which Bill Burr in comedy sitting there, he's like, some female journalist came up to him and was like, "You think there should be more women in comedy?" He just looked at him. He's like, "Make your own shit."
Yeah.
Man, no one was opening any doors for a ginger from fucking Massachusetts. We made our own shit.
Yeah.
Make your own shit. That's the
Listen,
problem that you have.
here's
That's
the
the
difference.
softness. That
Back
I
in the
talk
day,
about.
we had to take our parents' table outside and destroy it, and then take that beating. And
Yeah.
nowadays,
So
the
you
parents
got-
are on the table for them to jump through. That's the difference.
You got hurt from the act, and then you also got your ass whooped
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
mom and or dad,
Yeah.
depending on how good you had it as a kid to have both in the house.
Yeah. If you were privileged enough to have two ass beatings, you got it.
that was privilege in our time. Yeah, that was some heavy privilege.
The thing is, I mean, like, I'm not trying to say, oh, they're all soft.
Oh, you got to define soft. You got to define the variable. Like, what do you mean by soft? 'Cause I think they're as crazy as everyone else.
so here's the thing, right? Is that I think that this is not so much a knock on them, as much as it is. Let's just try to keep our guys working for 330 days, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like the barriers
big
and
thing.
everything. The barriers are all padded, right? When you
Yeah.
think about Bret Hart broke his sternum against Dino Bravo.
Yep.
And that was like all metal. That was all metal back then, right? And he threw him right onto that and he broke a sternum on the metal. Well, you're going to lose this guy for a while, right? So
Yeah,
to me,
that's
it's
money.
like, yeah. So, I mean, to me,
Just
it makes
making
more
the
sense.
Argument that they're soft.
But Sean,
Not bad.
Sean,
Not
the whole
bad.
the whole
Soft
thing is
are
those.
nice.
I love soft shit. Don't get me wrong.
Just think about if your wife had calloused hands or soft hands. Which one are you taking?
I saw that Seinfeld episode.
Sean's
I
probably
saw
going
that
Gaussian.
Seinfeld episode. No, I saw that Seinfeld episode there.
That wasn't a twist off. But
Remember
Sean,
that Seinfeld
honest-
episode with the old big hands there ripping up the lobster claw? Just
the
like,
lobster- the bread rolls. She was smoking hot, but she had these big old man hands. I couldn't even do those man hand justice.
oh yeah,
The bread
you
rolls
got something
and
on
the
your face.
Damn it. But
Real
Sean,
thing.
the kids aren't making these rules.
No,
The people who saw Owen Hart die are making these rules.
Yeah, but you know what? That's because
Sean,
Vince McMahon was completely
Sean, if you were in a
irresponsible.
Sean, if you were in a position of power in the WWE, right? You get to know these people. You want to see them do well. You remember what it was like when these guys weren't making any fucking money and getting hurt and having no insurance and they're fucking you want better for them, right?
Absolutely.
And you would do anything in your power to do that, right?
I mean, you think about it back then, there was only like maybe a handful of people that would get the WWE title, right?
Sure.
A small handful of people, Now it's like everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a turn to the WWE title. Yeah. You get a turn to the WWE title, and you get a
it's like
turn
a
at
whole
it.
free shit. And again, I think though it's important. We're talking about attacking Roman Reigns, from which I don't even think the Undertaker did. I don't think the Undertaker did. I think
I
the
think it was
Undertaker
misconstrued.
I think it was taken out of context. But we're talking about it as if he did, and
But
I
the
don't
thing
think
is that-
I don't think it's fucking Roman Reigns' fault.
Here's the thing.
It has nothing to do with Roman Reigns.
I honestly think
Roman Reigns would slit his wrist if he had to for this fucking sport.
yeah.
Tell me otherwise.
he's the worst. He's
I
one of the
think
worst. He's one of the
Undertaker probably
worst.
meant they're soft in the way that they're handled.
Which he's probably saying from a fucking position
Yes.
of like,
Yeah.
I wish.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I
read-
wish.
Yes, that's what it is, right? It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same
But here's
thing
the
about
thing.
everything else. Like the kids, like the guys now in that league, they have training facilities.
Yeah.
They've got trainers. They've got massage therapists on the road. They travel better. They're not 7 dudes in a 5-seater car, driving 700 miles. You know what I mean? Like those. Soft isn't necessarily bad. It
No.
just is what it is.
You want to talk about soft? Conor McGregor's soft by definition.
Yes.
By the definition we're talking about. You know why? Because Dustin Poirier did something that no one's done to Conor McGregor ever, probably, right? To take him out in the second round like that definitively. and you can speculate on the state of Conor McGregor, whatever the fuck. Dustin Poirier made $130,000. That's including the performance bonus. Conor McGregor probably made around $20 million for that event.
Yeah.
For 6 minutes of getting your ass whooped.
Yeah.
$20 million. God bless America.
Call me soft.
Hell yeah. I'm the softest. I'm Charmin Ultra Soft.
But here's
lotion.
the thing, right? Is that like I honestly think it's just work. I think it's working, right? Because
You think these guys aren't working?
No. It's work. It's work. It's basically a promo. They're setting something up. Because Goldberg is going up.
A work.
Yeah. Like Drew,
A
like
work,
right.
okay.
Goldberg is fighting Drew McIntyre coming up, right?
Wait, Goldberg?
Yeah, Bill Goldberg. He already came in.
Goldberg.
Yeah, he already came in and said, "You guys are disrespecting. You have no respect for the young people." And
That's how you know
shoved
that
them.
Goldberg has too much money. Is now he's trying to come back in because
Yeah.
Goldberg's got TV money.
Oh
He's got
yeah.
fuck you money.
Yeah.
He had a lot of shows that he was producing.
That's what I'm saying. He's got
His IMDb page is pretty busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got real money.
Yeah.
So you have that going on. So I think this is just the next logical step because you have the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Why not? Why not have the old, big dog come out there and let's have a great match. It's gonna be a great match.
But I mean, Sean, I gotta get back to this though. Do you think this is like, because I know you're a wrestler from the 30s. So do you think this is a knock on Roman Reigns and the athletes that are performing these days?
No.
Like when the word gets soft gets thrown around, like is it their fault that it's better than it was? Shouldn't it be better?
I think Vince had to learn, right? I mean, like all of them had to learn.
Boxing had to get better. Like everyone looks at Floyd Mayweather, like, "Oh, Blackjack Johnson."
Look at those guys.
He was almost being lynched every week. In our day, like it's like. Should that be how it is?
No. Look, have a look.
Or should you put should you be one of the greatest boxers of all time and get paid accordingly?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Weird.
have a look at Jake. Have a look at DDP. Have a look at DDP's making some good money.
Oh, he's got his
DDP
yoga. DDP yoga. I do
know?
DDP yoga just for shits and giggles. That's a fucking great program.
Yeah, but
Let's get him as a sponsor. GBS.
Okay.
I would love to.
DDP holler at us.
I would love to. I do his yoga, but anyways,
Doesn't show.
oh yeah, it does. Anyways,
There goes that sponsorship.
Diamond Cutter. And hook it up. All right. Anyways, though, seriously, there's nothing wrong with making things safer, with keeping your people.
Does it make you soft though? I'm
No.
from the Northeast. You say soft. I'm fighting you. I don't care if you're my grandmother.
Now,
I
are
don't
they
care
a
if you're
little
my dead
whiny? Are they
grandmother.
whiny? Are they whatever? Yeah, maybe so. But
You
are
don't
they
tell me that
soft?
people bitched back in the fucking the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, of course they did.
bitched.
Of course
No,
they
they
did.
didn't have Twitter though.
But think about what Vince was asking these guys to do.
Sean,
Just
every
stop.
every word these guys had to say went through Vince McMahon back in the day.
Of course,
now
Vince
you can
McMahon
go out
loved
on
that
your own.
stuff.
Now you can go
Vince-
back up. Now you can go on your own without a PR person and just Vince McMahon sucks. SUX.
You have to show it. Sean tweets like this.
Yeah, that's it.
His glasses at the end of his nose. Joe, how do you spell cancer? Not the disease. My birth astrological sign.
I'm a Virgo.
Is there two capital C's in Cancer?
Sean, it's the same either way. That's the point of the joke.
Yeah.
You would get
But
that.
you're. So here's the thing, okay, is that we're talking about wrestling. We're talking about this. You're talking about soft complaining.
That's where I took offense.
Here's the
where I
thing,
was like,
Macho
soft.
Man. All right, so listen to this story. All right, so Jake and Macho Man, they're doing their thing, right? And I don't know if you remember this there when they had their feud, right?
Macho
but-
Man of the Cincinnati Reds.
Macho Man Randy Savage, right? But he was
Paul or
he was king. He was King Macho Man at that point, right? With Scary Sherry as his manager.
and Bonesaw in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
He was. But anyways,
Bonesaw's ready.
so Jake, right, had the Cobra defanged, right, as far as like the poison and everything, but not defanged, right?
Okay.
But he had the King Cobra that was going to go and I don't know if you remember this as a kid, that King Cobra just gnawing into Macho Man's arm, like gnawing into it, like it was disturbing, super disturbing. Hey, Daisy.
And you can get super sick from that anyways, venom or not. There's bacteria in there.
So of course, Macho was asking Jake, oh, have the snake bite you, so he had the snake bite him, right? It's just like, okay, brother, the Macho Man gonna be doing this, So anyways, apparently before he got into the ring, Jake, right, he ended up smacking the Cobra, smacking it around to get it real riled up, right? So then all of a sudden when he released it, that's why you saw that. And I remember I was a kid watching the snake just just like, and I'm
like you're watching an episode of the Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's a male or female.
But here's what I'm saying, though, is that, man, none of these kids doing that crap. None of them.
They would if they would fucking let them. They would if they fucking let them. But
Yeah,
here's
I
the
agree.
thing, though. These days, Sean, you gotta say, and you got a young man in your life that you're trying to fucking raise, and mold into something, right?
Yeah.
And I got a young lady over here that I'm trying to fucking make into not a complete psychopath. Nothing like me. That's all I'm trying to do. You gotta understand, though, is they want to be that. They want that more than anything else. But if you step over the smallest of lines these days, how much fucking leash did we have when we were kids to say certain words and talk certain shit? Right?
Unbelievable.
The stakes are so much higher now to where if you talk that kind of shit, you're gonna get fired from your job.
I do not disagree with you.
The pressure, the stakes, de la soul, stakes is high. Okay, you got to understand that, and not to mention, you've got a situation where someone was making a shit ton of money off the backs of these guys back then.
His name is Vince McMahon,
who was making those guys were making no money. How many of those guys died broke?
Dude. Yeah, you don't have to preach to the choir here.
I know. Yeah, like how many of those guys died broke?
Yeah.
So that ultimately is the thing is you may not have to like every little ounce of it, but I guarantee you that if the money was there and the regulations weren't, these kids would be just as fucking dumb as they were when you were a kid. Like, they'd be getting out there, they'd be humping snakes and fighting hippopotamus or whatever the fuck, dream you built up in your head or how it looked. They'd all be doing that dumb shit for money. Because just go on YouTube and see what these dummies are doing.
Listen, there was
for likes.
Some real injuries that happened in the WWE, like Draws breaking his neck.
Sean, watch Tosh.0.
I don't watch Tosh.0.
You need to.
Or just watch Ridiculousness.
Ridiculous.
I like ridiculousness.
See what people are doing for no money. Mm-hmm. No money. They'll never get monetized. They just get drunk and they're like, I'm going to ride this table down this mountain.
See if I get 100 likes.
That's called the Darwin. That's called the Darwin Awards at that point, though, man.
Yeah, but it's always been a thing. It always will be a thing. It's still a thing now. It's probably a thing now more than anything else because it's dangerous and sexy. And like that hot chick might notice you if you fucking.
And everyone's got a camera in their pocket.
Hell yeah! You know how many great moments in history weren't recorded because they didn't have these little son bitches running around?
I know. Oh, Fiona's so cute. Oh,
yeah, talking about the future of WWE. She's brutal. I woke up to her doing a Yokozuna drop on me when I'm trying to sleep.
Yep.
Fire across my face and everything. I was like,
Fire truck.
I'm glad you can say that word properly. Not many
that's her shit right now. Police and fire truck, which again would probably get her canceled these days. I'm telling you, man, stakes is high for babies right now. Right? Her Uncle Argos is a cop.
For less.
She can't talk about that shit.
Too cute.
She's poking Brad's nose, picking your nose, Brad. So, all right, but again, back to my original thing. Like, are you as excited as I am? Because I haven't been as intrigued by somebody with the WWE Icons thing as I am Yokozuna.
Yeah.
Why Yokozuna so badly though?
I don't know. He was the villain when I was a kid. Like when I was like transitioning to a man, like bat mitzvah age. You know what I mean? Like I'm ready. I'm like. That was when I really was starting to become on my own, and he was the fucking bad guy.
He was
such
good.
A great bad guy. He was a good bad guy.
You want to know how I know he's good? Because I hated him. That's how I know it is. Like
yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah,
it was brutal, and I think the most interesting thing for me is a guy that big who got bigger.
Yep.
Every year until it murdered him. That's amazing. That's amazing because he wasn't a sumo wrestler. The sumo wrestlers in Japan, they account for their size and their cardiovascular system. He was just a big fat fucking Samoan out there.
But he
Getting
moved.
bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
he was
moved
very
around,
athletic.
Like it was amazing, and I would always feel like, especially with Bret Hart, when he was coming down on his chest, I'm like,
Yeah, you can't fake. You're not faking that funk.
What was that?
You're not faking that funk.
No.
Even 60% of that weight's still real weight. Like that's not.
Yeah, that's. I think that might be the other thing about what made him such a great heel was like, there's no faking that drop. Like,
No. That and Mr. Fuji will put
at
anybody over the top.
at the very least, you're tasting everything, which is not like I'd much rather have the pain than the taste. To be honest with you, like that thigh after sitting on an airplane.
You can get past the pain. That taste stays with you for a while.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's
taste
it.
and smell are the things that are most linked to your memory. Like, ugh.
Like it was
I don't
him,
know.
and it was Earthquake. Earthquake was doing those. as well.
Earthquake, yeah.
Oh.
Which is another man I don't want to be below ever in my life. I'd kill everybody around me.
Like even the Bundy splash, I would take that.
Yeah,
Over that. You know what I mean? It's like I'll take the Bundy
100%.
splash.
I'd throw Fiona in front of me if Earthquake was coming. I'd be like, "Good luck, sweetie. Maybe he thinks you're adorable. And he won't crush you." Like, I'm
Great
keeping
French
it real.
Canadian. Great
I'm
French
gonna
Canadian.
live.
If he does, I'll just make another one of you.
I was like, yeah, carbon copies. I got the DNA right here.
Oh,
Ready to
man.
go.
Oh,
All right, we're 2 hours in. Let's wrap it up.
we have to.
Reed,
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Thanks for being on. Come back soon. It's always a pleasure.
Anytime.
These are, the
And I
highlights
mean
of my
that.
week.
I mean that lightly.
You coming on Monday?
You mean the day after tomorrow?
Yes.
What is it? 7:30 Atlantic Standard Time. Yeah,
That's right. No, Eastern Standard Time. It's
If I can do
8:30
the math, I'll try to be there.
All right, sounds great.
If anybody else wants to jump in, let us know. We'll get you a link and come and talk with us. We'll see how it goes. Until then, thanks to Flyers. Thanks to Spindrift. Thanks to
Brad,
Reed.
you gotta send me some flyers, man.
I'll send it to you. I'll give it a packet.
I need some of that
I'll send it.
pacemaker porter.
Yep.
I'll send you some of my shit.
Yep. Let's trade
Let's
out.
figure that out.
Good deal.
I'm the odd man out here.
Fuck you, Sean. If I have any extra that Brad sends me that I don't drink,
Yeah.
unlikely.
We'll post it up your way.
I'll send it up your way.
Hey guys, listen, appreciate you guys listening. Thank you so much. Subscribe. I have Guys Beer Sports on Spotify and iTunes, anywhere else that you can get podcasts, as well as on YouTube as well.
Yep.
All right.
27's in the books. See y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
You've listened to the podcast, but now it's time to visit us in our virtual sports bar. Get all of our info at guysbeersports.com, where you can find all the ways to connect with us. Watch for live conversations with Brad and Sean that happen throughout the week, and join in with your favorite local beer. You can share your thoughts in the conversation comments with your own uploaded videos, or even join us as a guest live commentator. The GBS Virtual Sports Bar is open for business. Come on in, boys and girls.